Good afternoon, folks. Welcome aboard the 14:15 departure from Liverpool Lime Street to Crewe via Runcorn, Widnes, and some other places. Also going via the year 1958. I don't know if you were informed of that before departure, but I thought I should let you know we are actually going to be travelling via the 50s. So there will be a fully restocked buffet car available on this service, providing a selection of hot and cold drinks and snacks and refreshments for you. So hop aboard and welcome in. Hello, everyone. It's been a hot minute, isn't it? It's been a little bit. Oh, my OnlyFans behind me. Because it's been that typical sort of British spring weather the past week or so, where it's like, right now it looks like there's about to be a massive thunderstorm, and there probably will be. But then equally it could be 3 hours of scorching sunshine. I went to Brands Hatch over the weekend. Even though it was mostly cloudy for most of the day, I still got brutally sunburnt. So there you go. It's that time of year. I'm doing well, though. I am doing well. How are you all doing? Most importantly, how are you all doing? It's good to be back out here. Good to be back out here on Twitch. As I say, it's been a hot minute. Not through anyone. No, booking.com. I'm good. I don't need to that. Ooh, Dance Max Law with a follow. Thank you. Appreciate you showing up. Welcome aboard. Am I going to American Speedfest? No, because I'm going to be on trains. I'm going to be playing with trains, probably. Though I could do this Sunday. We'll see. But, yeah, as it stands, I have plans for that weekend that involve old trains and Le Mans. Just as I do this weekend as well. This month is going to be very busy for me, coming off the back of a couple of big events in the last few weeks, which is lovely. So it's all very exciting. In the meantime, speaking of exciting, we better talk about what we're going to be playing today. Well, we're going to be playing Train Sim World 2. We've played that quite a bit already. You know what that is now. What we're going to be doing, though, is we're going to be playing something particularly exciting for Train Sim World 2. Now, the long-running train simulator games have had Steam in them for a long, long time. They've had steam engines, steam locos, all sorts of lovely things. Lovely big kettles to drive. And do a hecking big chuffing. Spirit of Steam night. Oh, God. Oh, no. Do not play it with this game. Do not blind this game with that. At least we're not driving any pre-war Grand Prix cars today. I hope we're not. So, yeah, in the old train simulator games, there's been Steam in them for ages. But since the new Train Sim World series of games came out on a brand new graphics engine, brand new everything, basically, starting over for a new generation of train simulator-ish games, train simulation games, I should say, there's been no Steam in them. There's been plenty of diesels, there's been plenty of electric locos and units and things like that. That's all been great. There's been no Steam. They've wanted to do it. Hello, Mark Laren. Lovely to see you in here. Welcome in. Welcome on board. Might want to decrease the music volume slightly. Oh, really? They bumped it up a little bit for today, so I didn't think it'd be that much more. All right, where was it before? It was 21. There we go. Excuse me. Hello, Tuz. Lovely to see you in here as well. And obviously, we've got a tea and train stream, so I've got a tea in a train's mug. So there you go. There we go. Oh, I think I bumped up the desktop audio so I could find my teeth. No, tea time is in roughly an hour for me. Oh, is it? What time is it for you at the moment? I want to say Malta. We've got folks in Malta, Hong Kong, and is it Hong Kong? Help, my geography's crap. But basically, in the chat right now, we have people from all over the world, all far-flung areas of the world. Hong Kong, Malta, Bristol, you know, all these different places. Who's the Hong Konger? I thought it was you. I might be, or is it Malaysia or Indonesia? I think Tuz is the Maltese person. Burnout World Tour out. It really is. Sounds like a me situation. So, yeah, in the new Train Sim World games, since the first one came out in 2018, there's been no Steam in it yet. Malaysia, right? Okay, so Malaysia, Malta, Bristol. Bristol. I'm indeed the Maltese knob. You're the Malteser. So, yeah, there's been no Steam routes in Train Sim World yet. Now, the developers Dovetail Games have been saying for the longest time that they have wanted to do it, of course, but they've been working up to it. They want to get it right. They want to do it properly and maximize the new engines, the maximum capabilities and things like that. So it's been a while coming. Well, all of 4 years. Obviously, 2 years of global pandemic probably hasn't helped anyone's productivity in the last couple of years. But, well, yesterday was indeed that day. History was made. The first ever Steam route in Train Sim World history arrived. And, oh boy, it's a doozy. We're going to be playing it today, and I have been playing it for about the past week or so, because as my position as a Dovetail Games ambassador, which is very kind, very lovely of them, they gifted me this route pre-release. I got the exclusive first play of it. Even in that sort of pre-release state, I feel like this has been worth the wait. It's a good choice of route, good choice of locos, and if the whole point was to wait to really do Steam properly, I think that was a wise decision, because yeah, this is shaping up to be pretty good. So today we are going to be exclusively focused on the Spirit of Steam route between Liverpool Lime Street and Crewe, set in 1958, Steam locos only. Forget bad bitches only, Steam locos only. Chaffy boys only. Anyway, Malaysia and Hong Kong were part of the British Empire, though Malaysia... I see, right, okay. Alright, so shall we get into this? No, because I've turned everything off in this window. Oh, that was right, it was when I was recording the flipping... There we go. So when I was recording the bloody thing for the Dovetail Games Midweek Madness stream. It was so funny because I ended up being put on. It was my own fault anyway. I submitted the video late. You know, tell me you're neurodivergent without telling me you're neurodivergent. I've got plenty of time to do this thing. Oh shit! It's beyond the last minute. So we are, yep, press any key to start. Where's the any key? So, yeah, I turned a lot of the stuff off, like tips and things. Oh, hang on. Tips, I knew there was something missing. Hang on. There you go. Window capture, test image. Right, that's all good. All working well. Can you hear the in-game all right? That should be fine. You should be hearing like, boom, boom. You should be hearing menu scrolling music.mp3. Menu scroll sound.wav. Why is only now someone messaging me? Oh. It's a very neurodivergent friend who's just only now replying back. That's a mood, to be fair. That's a mood, to be fair. I can't judge anyone for that. So yeah, I assume you can... I need this tea. I need this tea quite badly. I genuinely just went to my second monitor and tried clicking on these menu items as they were showing in OBS. Not as in actually in the game. So there, I've got water for hydration. It is not only the Steam locos that will be drinking water today. Drink the tea, sis. Rainmeister is out here. How are you doing? Lovely to see you, mate. Not salty about the Western Conference Finals. I mean, I'm not. Actually, I'm genuinely not. It was Luka Doncic versus the world. And a good team with a lot of good players showed up like, is there anyone else of you? And Luka was like, no. I can do my best to beat you on my own. The Warriors were like, fam, we beat LeBron James in the finals 3 out of 4 years. We know what it is to defeat a team with one good player on it. But it'd be interesting in my Discord because fellow mods, Vic and Nay, are going to be going head-to-head in the NBA Finals. Nay's Boston Celtics versus Vic's Golden State Warriors. Woo! Aura's here. Hello, my bean. Beans around. Hello, bean. And a sub with Prime Gaming. What a lovely way to start today's stream. Oh, hello, Bean. How are you doing? I just love saying the word Bean. How are you doing? Welcome in. Lovely to see you in here. And I think we've prattled on long enough. I think it's time to do a hecking big chuff. So, This is the thing in question. This is what everything's been building up to. Is this. So, what I'm going to do is... Firstly, what we're actually going to do is I'm going to go through the training modules with you. Trains! I know, right? The world's cutest PNG tuber. Way! That's very sweet of you. Yeah. So we're actually going to go through the training modules together, just because, you know, it's a new route and it's a new way of... A new century of fighting. I mean, a new type of driving trains. So, actually, do we? No, I don't think we need to. Actually, no. Actually, no. Sod that. So, here are the two locos we've got in the spirit of steam, not spirit of speed, not spirit of Steve. We've got these two beasts. So, a little bit of context for you. We're in 1958. In Liverpool to Crewe area, so the sort of northwest. Now, back in the pre-grouping, in the grouping of the Big Four, so 1923 to 1948, you would have had 4 major companies running all the railways in Britain, kind of like now, but there were just 4 of them, and for the most part, they actually cared about giving their passengers a good experience while travelling on the trains, which is a radical prospect, I know. That's a very radical prospect. So, yeah, Tim Tabble. So during that period, the Liverpool area would have been the control of the London, Midland and Scottish Railway. And these two locos are from, that's what you can see, LMS right there. They would have been built during the LMS era. They're now running British Railways livery because we're into the 50s now, where British Railways are nationalised, taking everything over. And a lot of the locos kind of stayed in the same areas they were before. So a lot of the old LMS stuff stayed in the northwest. So even though it's British Railways now, the locos and stuff kind of stayed in certain regions where they had been before because, hey, all the crews and the staff and everything working there, that's all they would have known. What's the point in suddenly giving them a bunch of new locos where you're like, what? Where? How does this work? What's that button doing there? Just keep them using the same locos they have been for decades. And if they were good enough for the job, then they were good enough for the job. And these definitely were good enough for the job. These two, they look very similar because they were designed under the same chief mechanical engineer of the LMS, that being Sir William Stanier, FRS. Not FFS, FRS. And fun story about William Stanier. So... The Great Western Railway is one that's very fondly remembered. That was alongside the LMS and the London North Eastern Railway, which was where Mallard and the Flying Scotsman and everyone came from, and my home turf, the Southern Railway, for rail's sake. They were all sort of doing their own thing, and during the early 30s, one William Stanier was the understudy over at Swindon Works for the Great Western Railway, as in he was the understudy to the chief mechanical engineer, which I believe was George Jackson Churchwood, and he was sort of next in line. What you got to think of it as, it's like being the assistant coach on a football team and being like, right, well, I'm being groomed to be the successor. When the main guy retires, I'm taking over. Except the Great Western, when Churchwood retired, went, no, we're going to hire this other guy instead, Charles Collett. In hindsight, bit of a stupid error because Collett was, he was all right. He was okay as chief mechanical engineer, but he was all right. It's like sort of hiring a middle-of-the-road. He was a bit of a Sam Allardyce as a manager, if you will. Whereas William Stanier fancied himself as a bit of a Pep Guardiola. He was like, no, do you know what? I'm good enough to be chief mechanical engineer. I'm good enough to run the game. And so the LMS, who were kind of, I think their previous one had chief mechanical engineer, CME, Henry Fowler, he was okay. But the LMS wanted a kind of all-star guy to lead the new generation, to lead the new era, develop the young players, develop new locomotives and stuff. You see? It kind of worked. In my head, this old man analogy kind of works. Anyway, William Stanier was headhunted by the LMS to be their new chief mechanical engineer in a kind of, well, fuck you, GWR. If you're not going to hire me, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach. The River Mersey. So, he went to the LMS, and these are two of his designs, two of his biggest, most flagship designs. Fun fact, a lot of the internals on these are based on stuff he learned with the Great Western. A lot of these are copies of some designs of famous Great Western locos as well, because he basically took a lot of the ideas that he'd learned at Swindon with him to Crewe Works, actually. That was the main headquarters of the LMS. But the Great Western had really good ideas on building steam locos, so why not copy them and, you know, make them better, put your own spin on them. So these two, you can see the front of the kind of face, as I call it. Thomas the Tank Engine heads will know. The faces look very similar because they're very similar boiler designs, but these are they're designed for two separate things. Black 5 is essentially a Castle class, but Northern. Exactly, yeah, exactly. It's basically a clone of the GWR Castle, but black and with a different running gear and some other tweaks, basically, which is no bad thing. I love a lot of the Great Western steam loco designs. They were fantastic. They were amazing at what they did. Very, very powerful. Amazing pulling power. Because that's the thing with the Great Western. Wimbledon MC taking their talents to Milton Keynes. Does that work as an analogy? No, it doesn't. Unfortunately, it doesn't, because that's just something that should never have happened. That shouldn't have happened. There was no reason for it to happen, and it was stupid. Sort of, yeah. I kind of get where you're going with it, though. I can kind of see. It's like those old maths exams where it's like, show you're working out. You might still get marks for that. Okay, your answer was completely wrong, but I kind of see where you were going with it, so you still get a mark for that. So this is the 8F, the Stania 8F, and the F stands for freight. So this was the chief freight loco. So this is a big, thick boy, 8 running wheels, 8 traction wheels, and it's a big, thick boy for hauling big freight journeys. And this is the LMS Stania Jubilee class loco. What appropriate timing. The first steam route in Train Sim World 2 includes the Jubilee class locomotive in the week where, well, some Jubilee-related things might be happening. But yeah, this is the Jubilee class loco. Both of these were built at Crewe Works and Derby Works and the North British Loco Company, which is in Scotland. I want to say Motherwell or Inverness, maybe. All built out of those factories in the mid-1930s. And appropriate timing for this, because I actually got to ride behind one of these a few months back at the Keithley and Worth Valley Railway. 45596, which is just a few up from this one. This one is shown as 45591. All of them had unique names. A lot of them were named after British Commonwealth territories and things like that. Wabtec has a depot near Ayr and Kilmarnock. Oh, okay. Speaking of which, that little thing on the front there is a depot code, or a shed code, which is where the shed that it was based at. I can never remember them off the top of my head, but because it bugs me, I'm going to Google this one. So 5A would have been a code. Would any of them have been named Malaysia or Malaya? Maybe. So the one that I rode behind was one of the 4 preserved locomotives from this class, which was 45596 Bahamas. Uniquely, it was the only one to have a double chimney. They put it on in the 60s before it was retired. Hello, people of the internet. Welcome back to AJ's channel. Welcome in, JBS. How you doing, man? Also, given I know you're a massive Beatles fan, and we're going to be spending a lot of time around Liverpool today, and I've started off already with the Beatles puns. Go as mad as you want. You have my permission to make as many Beatles puns as you want. Shed code 5A would be Crewe North. There you go. So the home depot for this loco is on this route that we're playing today. It's the Crewe depot. You rode behind Leander. That's right. That's one of the other preserved ones, isn't it? There's 4 of these preserved total from a class of bloody loads of them. But it's good that we still have 4 running around, still preserved now. Paul is dead. Okay. Either that's really... Wow, this chat suddenly got really dark. It's basically gone, fuck Liverpool, Paul's dead. Oh, Paul McCartney's dead. Oh, all right, then. Okay. I have to say, I went there in February, mostly really liked it. I really liked it. You've now also got me Googling, JBS, you've got me Googling this, unless you want to clarify this in the chat. This would be terrible timing. No, okay, he hasn't died. Oh, it's a Beatles meme, right, okay, thank you. Thank you for finally explaining that. I genuinely was like, has he just died in like 10 minutes since I've gone on stream? That was incredibly poor timing. That sounded like I have no son anymore. Liverpool's quite nice. Yeah, there's bits of Liverpool that are a bit of a dump, but then again, I'm in London, so Most major cities are like that, especially northern ones, because according to the British government, the north doesn't exist. Who gives a fuck? Actually, let me rephrase that. Ordinary people don't exist. Who gives a fuck about them? Has been a meme since the 60s. Oh, is it that, like, there was the one for Avril Lavigne as well, where it was like, Paul McCartney is dead and has been replaced by a clone. Or an imposter or something like that. There was one for Avril Lavigne, you know, one of those kind of things. So, yeah, right, what should we drive first? I think we'll start off with the Tube. We'll start off with the Tube. And we'll go through to died in a car crash and the current Paul is a body double. Aha, there you go. Okay. Guys, that why he's the only plays Hey Jude these days. That's the only Beatles song he's been taught to play. Anywhere north of Watford doesn't matter. Britain as a whole, yeah. They've named their investment fund for the Northern Powerhouse. Lol. Anyway. There was a football chant of Liverpool fans singing real fucking shit. What was that at the end of the Champions League final? Anyway. So, let's do a big chuff, shall we? Let's do a hecking big chuff. So, if you play Revolution 9 backwards, it says, I buried Paul. Oh, okay. So we're getting some lore out here. So, right, let's pick an early morning train. Do a bit of a trundle, shall we? I have the stoppings. There's Liverpool Lime Street to Ditton. Mm-hmm. Oh, this might be quite a good one to do, actually. Edgehill Sheds to Liverpool Lime Street. Liverpool Lime Street to Chester. Bound for Chester from Liverpool Lime Street to Runcorn. Lime Street to Manchester Exchange. Edgehill Sheds. Euston to Blackpool Central from Crewe to Hertford. Yeah, you get a lot of like in-city or regional trains on this route that use part of the route, which is nice as well. Crewe to Hertford. Where's a nice simple Liverpool Lime Street to Euston? There we go. Express service. Yeah, let's just do it properly, shall we? The Abbey Road cover. Paul is barefoot, which means he is the corpse, which means he's dead. Okay? I think we've got the conspiracy theory now that Paul McCartney's dead, but he isn't, but he might be. Anyway. Right. Drive this express service bound from London Euston from Liverpool Lime Street to Crewe. So basically the entire length of the route. But first, we've got to go uncouple a couple of vehicles. Basically what that means is we have to hop out. There's our Loco. Oh, 45556. Which one's that? Nova Scotia. Oh, okay. Getting a bit Canadian up in here. And there's our machine. Look at it there. That's a bit worrying. It's kind of wobbling around there. I'm like, hang on a minute. It really needs to de-stress. Hang on. No, sit in the seat. There we go. Right. Open. There you go. Reduce that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to leave now. As you can see, I've done this properly. So, yeah, welcome to Liverpool Lime Street 1958 edition. This is a really lovely rendition of it. They have done a great job with this. I've been to the real Liverpool Lime Street a few times, the current Liverpool Lime Street. A lot of the architecture is the same now, like the train shed is still there, which is brilliant. Did they do the same with Class 86s and 87s before the DVTs came along? What's that? So it's jog all the way down here. You can tell we're in the 50s because people are wearing hats. Look at these hats. Ma'am, can I just say, your hat is excellent. By the way, anyway. So yeah, this is a lovely version of Liverpool Lime Street and putting in the 1950s. They all want bananas. They all want some potassium before we get on the train. There's an old Rover P4 or something. Some big gates there. Traffic trundling around outside. Look at that. Look at that. And down the other end is 45684 Jutland. This will be the Loco that brought this train in. So they've literally just sent a new Loco to couple onto the front of it. And we have to uncouple the other one. There you go. LMS built 1936 Crewe. I had Leander and Tangmere and probably will never ride another rail tour in the UK because I'm pretty sure I'll never be able to top a double header up Chaponais. That is magnificent. So we just uncouple that. And that frees that Loco. So we can now... We've got a minute till departure. Hang on a minute, I'll open the doors. A lot of people are already on. Also, there's no central locking. This is a world before central locking. You can just get on if you want. So, your suit is immaculate. Anyway, a lot of sharp dress falls out here. Well, I guess it's the trip to the city, you know. From Liverpool down to the city. There you go, across the platforms. No, I don't. Calm down. Right, anyway. There's our loco. Here's another one in the little yard. 45630. I can't see what the name is. There's the signal box building that is still there, I think. I don't know if it's still in use. There's the turntable, which you can use. And there's our loco. Anyway, we should probably unlock the doors now. Probably actually start doing stuff to prepare this train for departure. We can turn this lamp on. It's now officially lit. And we've got a fire person. We've got a fire woman. Oh my God. We've got a fire woman. There's going to be gammons all over Facebook, absolutely foaming at the mouth in disgust at the absolute sheer wokeness of the fact that women may have previously worked on the railways in decades past. Like that was a thing that literally never happened. Also, love the animation, except there is a slight problem. Well, too, the timing on the firebox door opening is a little bit off, and, well, I didn't see much actual coal on the shovel. Here we go. Do you want to demonstrate this for us, Melissa? There you go. Yeah, she's actually using mind powers to insert the coal into the firebox. I respect it. It's a different way of doing things. Anyway, time for Annie to actually get on with driving this train. Unlock the doors. There we go. Look at that. One thing I love right away. I mean, this all looks beautiful. They've done a stunning job representing the locomotives in the game. This looks absolutely spot on. Even the details of, like, the shade of green, because this is a passenger loco, so this would have been in BR green. The colours on the loco and everything are perfect. The numbering, everything like that. The nameplate style. It's all brilliant. And they've even got that sort of slightly run-down, weathered look to the paint without making it look like it's absolutely hanging. But, yeah, this was the late 50s. 1958, 3 years earlier, British Railways had suddenly gone, right, well, we've ordered an entire new series of standardised steam locos, right? And we got hundreds and hundreds of steam locos on our network. Great. We're building new ones. Great. How about we bin all steam locos in the next 10 years? Well, including the ones we're building now. Yes. All right. So even by this point, steam was starting to get a little bit run down. And I mean, it's steam locos. Look, let's be honest. They're clagging smoke and coal and everything. Yeah, it got a bit grimy, you know. Anyway, lock the doors. Is that the safety or the dynamo? Which one? Which bit? Right, so now, what we need to do to prep the loco for action, ready and waiting for action. The dampers, right. So, firstly, reverser. Push that forwards. Maximum forwards. The brakes off. We will open the large ejector. That helps with the vacuum brake. Oh, no. And the small ejector behind it will open that. We open that. We close the cylinder cocks. FNAR. And the dampers, there they are. We open up the dampers. Where's the rear one? Excuse me. Sorry, Melissa. I'm getting in the way here. Right, so 19.3. 19.8. We're waiting for the VAC on the HUD to go to 21.0. And we close this. And then let's, here we go. Let's make a hecking big chuff happen. What the fuck? Really? All right then, so we won't make a hecking big chuff happen. Oh, now the game's crashed altogether. This is wonderful. This is great. This is going well. This is going really well. Game, I spent half an hour bigging you up, and this is how you repay me. This is also the first time this has happened, by the way. It's been working fine every single time I've played it. No, actually, it did crash a couple of times I booted it up for the very first time. But that was in, like, pre-release state still, but yeah. I have no idea what happened. Yes. That's all I got for you. Right. So let's try all of that again. So what train was it? Liverpool Street. It was that one, wasn't it? Yes. We'll say it's that one. Right. Okay. So where were we with everything? One chuff and spad. Right. So, firstly, jogging. There's no signal between trains at some stops, and I rammed in it. Sounds like a bit of a disaster occurred. Some death and destruction. I'm almost certain someone else probably should be doing this. Probably, you know, the crew of this Loco. 45675 Hardy. The Jeff Hardy mobile. Anyway, yeah, a lot of them were named after Commonwealth territories, and then they sort of ran out of Commonwealth territories to name them after. So what then happened is they started being named after Royal Navy battleships and things like that. And famous British figures, I think a few were named after. Shunters exist for this reason. I know, right? What's it our business for? All these people on the platform are like, well, can we get on the train yet? No, hang on. Jesus Christ, I'm getting my morning cardio in. All right, we're piloting 45725 Repulse. Now, there's one that was named after a battleship. 45613 over in the yard. I am the true shunter. That's up aboard again. Right, Melissa, where were we? Turn that on. It's dark in here. It's not Melissa anymore, it's Bob. It's Jerry. Jerry has taken over. Right. Unlock the doors. Now, let's start prepping for departure. Close the cocks. And then we open the ejector. Open the ejectors. Brakes. Reg and Marjorie Northern. Imagine you're waiting to board a plane and the pilot's running around the plane. Yeah, the pilot has to do all the pre-flight checks himself. Where are the dampers? Are there in the floor. Right, there we go. Okay. Do. So, sander, no, we don't need that. Reverse is still there. This panel is just Greek, not knowing what does what. I can only think that without realising we faffed around for so long before that we actually missed our signal and a train had come through and the signal had gone red. Because right now it's definitely green. Wait until 11:40, which is in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. No, right. There we go. Right. There we go. All right. There is our Loco Repulse. Do this, shall we? Let's do this properly. Jerry is shoveling the invisible coal. Maybe the real coal is the friends we made along the way. Open. And, right, let's do this. Give me a chuff. Give me a chuff. There we go. Oh, there was some movement. Close the cock. There we go. We're moving. We are moving. A hecking chuff is happening. Toot toot! Toot toot, mother truckers! Give it a bit more. The regulator, which is the main kind of throttle lever, if you will, you have to be very careful because the wheel spin is real. Hang on, let me just whack it straight to 100%. Well, hey! You ever seen a steam train do a burnout? There you go. So yes, wheel spin definitely a thing on old steam locos. If you want to do burnouts, then you can. They're not advised. So, cocks are closed. What we're now going to do is open these. Open the fort. Okay. Oh, wait, the dampers are opening. Hang on. Front dampers are... Oh, right, okay. Okay, so fun story. Let's see, just look at this. That whistle sound is very accurate, by the way. The old LMS locomotives had this real kind of like hooting whistle. I say it sounds like an angry owl. Especially the ones that was... Some of the whistles were much deeper, so they were more like... Woo. So you got this enormous steam loco billowing smoke and fire and brimstone. And it's going... Woo. It's a really soft whistle. Right. I think now we can give it the beans. What do you think? Here we go. Let's give it the beans. Give it a big hecking chuff. I just realised we've not got any lamps on the front of the loco. Feeds baked beans. Look at this. Liverpool Lime Street is one of my favourite stations in the country, by the way. The actual design of it is brilliant, but it's also in this long edge hill cutting, which is just spectacular. Hang on, let's switch to this camera. There you go. Look at that. Just at the right moment, Burnouts is our Blue Peter set the record for the world's fastest steam locomotive by spinning wheels at 140 mile an hour equivalent. Right, so with steam locos, you can't just put everything open to the max and then just leave it there. Right, firstly, we need to close the large injector. Small ejector's fully open. What are the dampers doing? Dampers are open fully, okay. So, what we actually have to do is dial back the reverser to help with the acceleration. Also, this is actually a very steep gradient coming out of the station. What I'm actually going to do is, in the options menu, I'm assuming there's a gradient units, percentage, ratio, okay. Not ratio on Twitter. Didn't have them on during the daytime. Oh, okay. Right, so 1 in 93 gradient out of the station from a standing start with... How many coaches have we got on this thing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's the back coach. About, I'd say, 10 to 12 coaches, fully loaded express. This thing is working hard. Repulse is working hard right now. Right, so the reason why I'm paying attention to the dampers over here is I was wondering about acceleration. And my friend Chris, who volunteers at Didcot Railway Centre, he literally works on old steam locos all the time. He was like, well, maybe you weren't opening the dampers because they weren't mentioned in the tutorial. I think that might have been fine. I think they open automatically. Because what the dampers do is basically blow air into the firebox, and you know what happens when you mix air with fire? Even bigger flame happens. More flames happen. And in this case, more power, more speed. So I've dialed back the reverser to about 36%. You need to sort of balance them together. Now the regulator, sometimes you can... Had a big old honking mainline steam excursion this weekend. I think I saw it. Was it? What was the loco called? The Reading and Northern one. The huge, thick boy. Because most things are bigger in America. I love that. Oh, by the way, hello, Preston. I did notice you arrived. I'll have a coal-fried full English, please. All right, hang on. Jerry, can we slap some eggs on the shovel for Nick? Can we get some bacon in there? 2102, that's the one. Power... Power belch. Very suggestive noises. What are they? Oh, oh, that's just me simulating the Loco, because I firmly believe, especially old steam locos, they are living things. I grew up on Thomas the Tank Engine. Don't doubt me on this. So we're only maxing out at 16 miles an hour. I think the maximum I've got along there is 18. But again, it's coming from... AJ hasn't realised he has to stop. Except I don't. We're going via location. Unless... Let me just check this... Don't you try and catch me out there, Nick. Don't you try and do that. We've got a green signal. Oh. Now, a lot of times you do have to stop here. This is the first station out of Liverpool. This is Edge Hill Station itself. But not us. Instead, the gradient's levelling out and we can pick up some speed. So, morning Liverpool. Good morning Liverpool. Yeah. I'm so happy right now. There's a massive goods yard over there. You just saw an 8F there. There's another one. So they're basically the Jubilee's freight handling cousins. They can't go quite as fast in a straight line, but they're dense. They're thick boys. Heard about the Crews do with their shovels. I wouldn't want to cook bacon and eggs on one. No, well, maybe. Just burn any germs off. It'll be fine. Be alright. Look, listen, it's not a Class 390. Right. So we're coming up on 40 miles an hour now. More sheds over there. The thing you'll realise on this route is, wow, was there so much more rails in the 1950s. Not only did the beaching cuts of the 1960s, you know, strip like half the entire railway network of the country to the ground, closing hundreds of stations and things like that, but just the amount of tracks everywhere. Like the amount of freight yards and sheds and things like that for locos, which are now just endless, as to car parks probably. And now we are climbing. I mean, look at all this. Look at all this. Oh, we are chuffing along, though. We are chuffing along now. More coaches in the yards over there. Look at all this. All these sidings up here. Guarantee you they are now office blocks or a Sainsbury's. Tesco RDC Widnes is where the docks are before Runcorn. Oh, okay, there you go. So there's a Tesco on that bit. Oh, but meantime, though, look at this. Scenery stretching out in every direction. We're climbing again, so... Actually had a whole main line torn down. Yes, he did. The Great Central Main Line. Oh, Scootsman's here as well. Not the flying Scootsman. Still got green signals. We can go up to 70 miles an hour in a minute. Stop on location, Runcorn. That's in 9 miles. Oh, look at this. I know we're in Liverpool right now, so it's not Manchester. But I'm reminded a lot of Manchester, and because I just see all these rows of houses and think Coronation Street. Choo-choo! This actually looks like an abandoned station. There's no signs in it or anything, and there's just some rubbish and stuff, so... We should be approaching Liverpool South Parkway. Was that it? That might have been it, you know. Oh, yeah. Who needs trains when you have cars? I know, right? And Tory MPs with vested interests and literal shares in road building companies. The Woodhead Railway. Ooh! That would be a good one, especially if it was in the 70s with the Woodhead Electrics, which were literally a type of electric loco not seen anywhere else in the country or since. Meantime, cows. Moo! Morning, cows. Aha, here's the station. Morning! Morning, mother truckers! So that was... it's a good question, actually. Something Park, I think. And we'll get the old Manchester station. That's right. We do have Manchester Victoria in the Northern Transpennine route. Could be an extension of that, actually. Oh, no. Or were you thinking Manchester Mayfield? Who needs a national rail network when you can split it up and sell it off to private... I know, right? Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is just majestic. Oh, we're really powering along now, up to 52 miles an hour. 53. Repulse really hustling along now. This is brilliant. This is brilliant. Still signals all green for us. Oh no, this camera's going to... Ow. Now, what station is this? Mosley Hill. Morning, Mosley Hill. Some more freight wagons. Ow, it's a signal box. Brake van in the yard. There's a lot of railway infrastructure. Super Mike with the 26 months of sub now. Have a small bit of my chopping great money. Hey, thank you. Appreciate you, and I appreciate that very much. $60 miles an hour. I believe these things could do a maximum of 75 to 80 if you really push them. On a good day when it was, you know. What a lad. I know, right? Right. Oh shit, what was that one? West Allerton. Morning, West Allerton. Good morning, West Allerton. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it as Good Morning Vietnam, but still. This is just, oh, this is perfect. There's also other details that my friend Chris pointed out. Like, for example, these are the oil injectors for the running gear. They're moving, which is realistic. What they're doing is as the running gear goes round and round like that, which I find very hypnotising, very relaxing way. That oils the oils and lubes everything. You know, you want to do that. You want to keep things oiled and lubed. It needs to actually be nationalised network, and you can put some blue on the bars and arrows and brand everything as Great British Railways, but still leave it actually privatised. Yeah. How about that? I'm going to actually let off the regulator now. Close that regulator. Let's have a coast, shall we? So this is normal Allerton, not West Allerton. Regular old Allerton. Oh. There's Allerton signal box. Not sure what those lines are, where they're going. Yeah, we're going slightly downhill now, and we're basically up at 70 miles an hour, so we may as well give the engine a slight rest. Let's open up that relegator. Let's open up the relegator a bit more. Burnley fans like, no, please. Cylinder locomotives always sound off to me since I'm so used to 2 cylinders. Yeah, like I love Bullier Pacifics. They're 3-cylinder, and they're so quiet. My friend said to him they genuinely sounded like a jazz drummer with like brushes, because it was like in like 3-4 time, you know. And these are also 3 cylinders, so same sort of deal. Still got all greens, and we've still got 5.5 miles till Runcorn, so we'll know when we're getting close, because we have to go over a rather large viaduct, the Runcorn to Widnes viaduct. Well, I guess it'd be the other way, Runcorn to Widnes to Runcorn viaduct. Not Jerry's still shoveling away. There you go, mate. You good for tea, by the way? Your flask all full? Good. I feel mine at the station. Everything else. Everything's working well. Everything is working well right now. And that's a pleasant surprise. For me. Now, this looks like another abandoned station. Well, there's certainly no signs of life in it, so... Anyway. Toot. Let's bring a bit more regulation up. Regulation. So you see the reverse is still at 36% rather than at 75%. You actually kind of dial it back and balance the two off against the regulator. You know, just having the massive maximum open isn't actually that effective. So regulator at 50%, reverser at 36%. Cheers is getting absolutely caked and soot at the train. Yeah, he is. That jacket was clean this morning. It won't be any longer. And we're at 70 miles an hour. So now we can let off. There's the big brake lever there, the combination brake lever. That's the big lever of stop. The lever of sudden stop. Just look at this. Cows just grazing in the fields. Not bothered, and that is realistic, by the way. Cows and sheep are absolutely cyber in the back flailing. Yeah, it's in the back coach now. It's like, hello, it's Simon Trains here. Do. Running along. We're still going slightly downhill as well, so... Oh. I love this as well. I don't know if they've updated the physics, but... Or I've just not noticed it so much before, but... Look at the way the Loco is bouncing around. Look at it. Bouncing around and moving about and everything. Coaches are all moving around. Which is all very realistic. It's all very, very realistic. Oh, is that a double yellow signal for us? Is it for this track? Well, we've still got a green, so we're fine. As we power through... whatever station that was. Didn't look like many people were at it. We're doing noise miles now. We need to actually slow down to 55 in a minute, so... Let's just... where's the brake? Yeah, I need the... There we go. Hang on, what's the... There we go. Need a bit of braking. Fine. Hey, Jason with the sub now. That's the 7-month streak. We love to see it. Thank you. Very lovely of all of you. Hey, we've driven 10 miles. Bit more brakes, please. Bit more braking, please. Bit more braking, please. Well, crashing over the point work. Clink, 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 clink. I'm wondering what station this would be. Ditton Junction. There you go. All right, so there we go. We are at speed. We are at speed. Flip the reverser back open a bit. Actually, no, we can still dial that back. There we go. And it was jetting off steam there. It was jetting off steam there just because we had the regulator closed, so any steam was just like, oh, I've got to go somewhere. So now, actually, let's crank the regulator up, because we are going uphill now. Maximum truffage. There we go. Fully open. Hustling along. Look at me there in the cab. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm so happy. He's so happy. And Jerry alongside us. Right, so I think the dampers are directly tied to how open the regulator is. That would make sense, because you generally only want them open when you're moving. Gerald! It's been a while since I was a sub. Well, it says sub for 7 months in a row. Well, that's what Stream Elements says. So Stream Elements are a liar. Whatever. Will we get a Class 455 for the London to Brighton route? It'd be nice. Especially now they've been retired IRL, so that would be cool. Does this help us at all? Look at that! Look at this. See what I mean? Just another massive freight yard. Just loads of tracks. That's probably a Lidl now. That's probably an Aldi, you know? Meantime, we are going up a steep climb because we are going to... Oh, look at all this. There's just tracks everywhere. Come on, Repulse. You can do it, mate. We're running a bit late, but that's all right. Who cares? Who cares about being on time? The camera. Smoke. Look at this. Look at this. More massive freight yards. This would all just be a massive Tesco now. There's the docks there. This is the River Mersey we're coming up on. And up here is the Runcorn Widnes Viaduct. I'm not sure what this bridge is next to it. That's a way of transporting containers across the river. More freight yards there to be loaded straight into the trains from boats and things like that. And we are good to go. And in the streets below, look at that. Everyone's just going about their day, getting the shopping in, wondering how the Merseyside derby is going to go at the weekend. And we are on the viaduct. Look at this. Look at this. This is spectacular. This is spectacular. This is magic. Absolute magic. Also well aware we do actually need to be slowing down a bit coming out of the station. Oh this, though. Look at it. Yeah, Runcorn Station's actually just over there, so let's actually start making the process of doing a slowdown. Pop the brakes on a little bit. Oh, we're okay. There you go. All right. Look at this. Sloane Square. There we go. Trundling into the platforms. 3 minutes late? Whatever. Who cares? You might not be entirely on time, but you are travelling in style. So a bit of an extra chuff just to get into our spot on the platform. The station's actually on an uphill incline, so again, just more good sidings, more vans and wagons and stuff. The entire country ran by rail. Britain runs on rail. Well, it did, and then it didn't. So, coming up here, 70, from about 60 yards out we go. Maximum brake. Come on, come on. Oh, we're going to stop early. Whoops. How is it, right? I'm crap at stopping in modern units and things with, like, maximum brake capacity and everything. But I'm almost perfect stopping with an old steam loco with just air for brakes. With literal air for brakes. The platform's long enough, so that's fine. It's not like the people in the rear coach were getting out like, right, we're now at Runcorn Station. Fell off the viaduct. Changed for a thing until someone said, how about new? Yeah. So here we are at Runcorn Station. Woman there with another excellent hat. Old posts and everything. They've done a very good job with the period feel of the route. Great. 7-4 signal. Showing us the way to go. Van. Some more stuff. I can turn this lamp off now. That was just for in Edge Hill because we were still kind of undercover. Undercover cops. Alright, so stop at location Crewe platform 3 in just under 20 minutes. I think we can do that. And then we do that. And then we do this. And then that's still open, so that's fine. And what we also do is we take the brake off. And we should be good to go. There we go. Come on. Oh, we moved a tiny bit. Come on. Come on. Plus move. Do a movement. Do and movement. Oh, because I've still got the large ejector. Oh, no. Come on. We're moving. We're moving. Yes. There you go. Gently. Gently. You know I said about wheel spinning locos? Yeah. Yeah. No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Come on. Come on. Hustle. There you go. Here we go. And then we close the ejector. That's for the vacuum for the brakes. And we also close the cylinder cocks for now. Oh no, but no, what? Anyway, all right, come on, let's give it the beans. Give it the beans. Chuff, 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 chuff. Borg, borg. Oh, a little bit of wheel spin there. Steady, steady. Yeah, steady. Steady, there you go. You see, it's so, you gotta be careful. Operate with finesse. Yeah, you like these old vehicles, they ain't got any traction control or driver aids for you. You gotta do it manual style. Better wheel spin now than at 200 mile an hour like with the GT40. 19 coaches uphill on wet rail, 2102 Spire. I'm not surprised. Alright, let's see. There we go. It's 50%, still a bit too much. Nope, I think we're good. Yes, there you go. Chug, 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 chug. Working hard again on an uphill gradient out of the station. Not quite as steep as out of Liverpool Lime Street, but chug, 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 chug. Can we go full? Can we go full open? Yes, we can. I'll dial the reverser back. There we go. We're training. We're doing a heckin' chaff. So we're supposed to be at Crewe in about 18 minutes. Whether we will be or not, I don't know. Probably not, but I don't care. I'm just so happy right now. How's everyone in the train? I love at the other end of the train, everything's just very peaceful. There's no one in the back coach. Maybe they're all behind the Loco. They're true spotters. They're true train spotters. They're right behind the Loco. They're window hanging. Well, not window hanging. You shouldn't do that. But they're all just doing the thing out the window. My lords, my lords, hellfire, etc. So, two Reavers here. How you doing, mate? Put forward a suggestion to DTG for the Woodhead Electric Railway in BR Blue. Wouldn't be any other liveries that were really running, would it? Well, when it was electrified, anyway. Well, they had the BR sort of black locos, didn't they? I've seen one of the old Woodhead Electrics. It's at the National Railway Museum. Is this the hype train? It is! It is the hype train. It's the train of hype. That's a whistle of hype. That's a toot of hype. Or the trolley train. No, this is the Alonso train. I don't know what you lot are playing at. I'm just having a nice trundle around the docks on a Sunday afternoon. For fuck's sake! Jesus Christ! Just after about 10-15 laps, Alonso just went, oh, my tyres are good now. Alonso just went, this motherfucker! This fucking guy! I like how it almost fucked with the leaders, though, because he was so slow, he stalled up the pack for like half a lap. And the leaders are like, are we going to be counting lap traffic? Well, you're not supposed to, but, I mean, there's a chance. Excuse me. Weren't the Woodhead Electrics also in NS Yellow? A few of them went to the Netherlands, yes. Is it half a lap slower than the leader? Yeah, it was something like that, yeah. Still on an uphill gradient, so we're still working hard. Come on. Come on. Chuggity, 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 chuggity. Could be worse, could be the Shelby Cobra in Seattle Gran Turismo 3. And what, pitting every 2 laps? Genius strap there. Oh. Lurking here and there, but ooh. That's alright, B. That's alright, Aura. Look as much as you like. Also, this is for you, Aura. Holden Junction signal box. I used the Cobra for the Seattle Endurance and I pitted every 10 laps. Yes, because you have a functioning brain. Of which the polyphony AI. When trains honk. That's an old steam train, so it hoots. It toots. I am such a child. What is even going on with Monaco? Is the result going to stand? Yeah, I think so. I think... you're talking about the protest from Ferrari. Ferrari like, no, actually Red Bull should be DQ'd. And the FIA were like, no. Don't try and blame it on them that you screwed up what should have been a guaranteed 1-2, pretty much. Don't you put that on us. Where was Vic said, are we going to count lap traffic? Yes. How much? About half the field. At what point does Sergio Perez just go, I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Sorry, can you repeat that? Ferrari will threaten to leave again. Maybe they'll do that thing where they build a fake IndyCar. Ferrari protest was thrown out, yeah. Ferrari like, no, fuck off. We don't care. Was the Coca-Cola 600 actually raced, or was it just played on NASCAR 21? Yeah. It was so funny earlier. I saw the highlights of the race came across my YouTube sub box, and just all the top comments were like, "It's the greatest race ever! It's the greatest race of the decade! So it's been boring Indy 500. It's amazing! It's amazing! It's glad that everyone's all right from the fact that it was basically a series of 15-lap sprints and then massive crashes, including cars flipping upside down. But no, that's an amazing race actually. It's not. I hate to inform you of this, that's not actually a great race. That's a great destruction derby. What the Indy 500 was a great race. And that was a really fun race. Love that one. I'm not salty. I'm not salty over my boy. This close! This close! There was a moment, side by side, entering turn 1 on the last lap. My boy Pato Ward on the outside, and I was like, my heart stopped. It was like, in this moment, it was frozen there. It was like, in this moment, it was this close. It literally was a too soon, Junior. Then again, I can't be salty at who won it, because Marcus Ericsson's lovely, and I always love it when guys who are unfairly shat on or never really given a proper chance to shine in F1, which is 90% of the field, which is 90% of the field at any one time. I love it when they head to IndyCar and actually show that they can kick ass, which is great. The Indy 500 winner threw out the first pitch of the Yankees game. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, he's cool. He's a cool guy as well. So, it's lovely to see that from Marcus Ericsson. I mean, Pato was third last year, second this year. 2023 500, he's coming for it. He's coming for it. People with American Truck Sim. Now I want to play Truck Sim. The rules about crossing the pit lane were changed before the season. Oh, really? Okay. I just thought it was a case of like, look, it was wet, the pit exit is uphill, everyone was getting a bit of wheel spin and sliding the left rear over the white line. That was it, you know. Gross redemption. I know, right? Speaking of Grosjean as well, he crashed, but Ericsson didn't hit him for that. And that was unfortunate. I was willing Grosjean to do well. Grosjean's done so well since going over to IndyCar. There's another guy who was never given a fair shot and by the end was kind of a meme in F1. But fucking hell, man, he's a baller in IndyCar. The man doesn't know what retirement is. I think he crashed. He did. Oh my god, yeah, no, he crashed with like 7 laps to go and set up a 2-lap dash to the flag. Because normally the Indy 500 doesn't run any like green, white checker rules. It's another idea that only NASCAR has. But this time around, they were like, do you know what? Let's give the safety workers enough time to clear the track properly while still being able to have a proper green flag finish. So they red flagged the race with 5 to go. Brought the cars back out on the track, 2 laps under yellow, warming tyres back up, 2 laps green, off you go. I think someone crashed on the last lap as well, didn't they? I seem to remember coming through turn 3 for the last time, the yellow flew. I'm trying to remember who it was. Been the #1 driver for Andretti this year. Yeah, there you go. There you go. He literally, within a year in IndyCar, Michael Andretti, of all people, has been like, fuck it, I'm hiring this guy. Sage, oh, that's right, yeah, it was Karen that crashed on the last lap. Now you can get 2 wheels on the, in F1, yeah. Shout out, by the way, for the most interesting Monaco Grand Prix in a long time, by the way. I'm one of the few people that actually likes the race, mainly because it is so unique and it's basically like a sort of time trial circuit. It's funky and it's historic and there's no way any new track added to the calendar should be anything like it, but I like the fact that it is so, you know, of its own kind, you know. But what a wacky, what a wacky race we had. No thanks to the FIA being like, it might rain in a bit, we're going to delay the start. Okay, now we're going to start the race. I know, actually, it has started raining now. Absolutely. That's what I think of that. Anyway, yeah, when the race did get going, it was very fun. Yeah, you know, the chances in the tightness of the circuit, how difficult overtakes are. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Like, it only magnifies issues that come up at a lot of other circuits anyway. Like, for how many years have we all known as a fact? The signal box there. Look at this for a... Oh, look at this for a junction. Look at that. Oh, the dive unders there. Look at that for a crisscrossing junction. Oh, look at that for a... Yeah, there you go. There's a screen grab. Oh, look at that. 65 miles an hour. We've still got 17 miles to Crewe. Coming downhill off the dive under. Over the flyover, if you will. Oh, yes. I'm so happy right now. I am so happy. But yeah, like Monaco is just basically an extension. Race control red flagged the race because they knew the conditions would get worse, and they did. Well, they kind of... At least they did get worse. Oh my god, we just wheel spun at 65 miles an hour. We're wheel spinning at 65. We are wheel spinning at 66 miles an hour. Oh, now we've got to slow down again. What the... Blimey. Blimey, and indeed, Tony. The brakes on, there we go. How can we go back up to 90 now? Not sure. I don't even know. Okay, there we go. Right, brakes off. There we go. Jerry's like, no, you can speed up again now, mate. All right. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just open the ejector for a moment. Okay, Dodge Demon. Fully open. Jerry's shoveling coal away. And 20.4. 20.9. 21. There we go. Close that. All is well. All is well aboard the Repulse. This is how you get a Blue Peter situation. It really is. We're going uphill as well now. Again. That's one thing that probably makes it so hard to keep to time on these routes. Like I say, I have no doubt that we're not going to be anywhere near close to getting into Crewe on time, but who cares? They're excited about Everything's Great Escape. Yeah, I think Jerry's gonna need that Bovril he's got in there. Yeah, that's not tea. That's clearly his flask of Bovril. We're in the north, so liquefied beef, boiling hot liquid beef is absolutely the standard cuisine up here. If that's non-league Bovril purchased from a non-league football ground, that will keep him warm for centuries. Oh, we've got a station coming through. Coming through. What station is this? Bollocks, I missed it. Whatever station that was. Hi. Hi. Oh, perfectly framed with the footbridge there. Nice. Really nice. Alright, so now we're on the level again. So, start picking up speed again. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Somehow Everton are near the bottom of the table, Liverpool are near the top, and the only fans celebrating the end of the season were Everton. Football's weird. Maybe it was more a case that Liverpool were just so heartbroken, they were like, well, you'll come back and do it next year, won't you? No. No, this was literally RIP Premier League 1992 to 2022. It was nice knowing you. It was nice showing up and competing for trophies. Now get ready for 10 years of Man City cock-slapping everyone. Yeah, we just won the Premier League again. What are you going to do? Well, our squad still needs to be stronger. I think we could do with a new striker. Let's sign the greatest striker on the planet. All right. But I also think we could do with some more young... No, stop it. No, we've just signed another young prodigy. And I think we can still strengthen the defensive mid. So we're going to try and sign England. Stop it! Stop it! Please. So anyway, look forward to watching the Diet Bundesliga next season. Bayern Munich looking over like, ha! You used to mock the Bundesliga for being a one-team league. Now you're going to know how it feels for the next 10 years, motherfuckers. It was, oh my god, yeah, no, that was a mess with the Champions League final. I also love the fact that in amongst all of it, bloody Camilla Cabello, who did the performance before the game, she tweeted, she was like, why were people booing and singing over my performance? It was like, you poor sweet summer child. Number one, they're football fans. Number two, they don't give a toss. about they do not give a toss about music for the biggest game in their club's history. And number 3, half the fans aren't in the stadiums; they're still outside getting tear gassed. So, which I'm sure she wouldn't have known about. Let's be honest. It's not like someone could, one of her backup dancers on the stage, just ran over and was like, oh, by the way, Camilla, there's no one in the stadium. They're getting tear gassed outside. Oh shit! Oh no! Is that why they're singing over me? They might be. Can they actually play Horvath? Who's Horvath? Or is that Haaland? Lewandowski leaving Munich means there might actually be competition in the Bundesliga. Maybe. Camilla, you can't sing that. Well, look, listen, I wasn't going to say it. I've never got the appeal of Camila Cabello. And look, I'm not some like rock snob that hates all pop music. Mr. Carly Rae Jepsen, Mr. Person who stands Carly Rae Jepsen, Girls Aloud, Taylor Swift, fucking loads of like female like pop singers and that. Like, forget that. Union winning the Bundesliga, yes. Look, listen. If we're going to live in the world where it's the Premier League and the Bundesliga basically going to switch, next season the Premier League will be the Bundesliga. Like, one team will have wrapped it up by Christmas, and the Bundesliga next season is Horvath is the American keeper at City. Oh no, he wasn't the guy that started the Carling Cup final, not the Carling Cup, the Carabao, the Energy Drink Cup final, and tried to do like the Edison like back pass control techers, and then was like, oh no, it's nearly like kicked into his own net. Maybe 15,000 Scouse idiots shouldn't have jumped the barriers and barged in without tickets. Let's be careful assuming it was all Scousers. Let's not do a hill. Let's not do a sun here. We don't want to do that. But as X amount of knobs probably ruined the situation there. And then England are like, what? We can't play international. We have to play international games behind closed doors. Can't believe you've done this. I like how Gareth Southgate, when he was questioned about the whole thing, he was like, well, yeah, we fucked up, man. we got a yellow card. We've been sin-binned. Did you not see the Euros final? We deserve to be punished. Rock and country for me, yeah. Oh, do you know what? It's funny, I watched a lot of Todd in the Shadows. He was a brilliant music creator on YouTube, but he focuses on pop mainstream music. So he loves his pop music, man. And he actually comes from a country background. Like he grew up in the South, and he loves his country music. And he's Stefan, that's the one, yeah. He loves his country music, and for the longest time in his year-end lists, like his top 10 best and worst hit songs of the year, I love it as well because he's not wrong, but I also love one of the artists he keeps ragging on for this. He basically hates what he calls bro country, which is like maximum like dude Chad country. It's like dudes in like proper shirts, in like shirts and jeans, and hats, with baseball caps and massive lift kit trucks. Being like, yeah, beers. We're driving beers and sinking Chevy diesel trucks and V8s. Get your titties out on the bonnet of my truck. Yeah, stuff like that. But one of the main exponents of it is like he hates Florida. The two he rags on the most are Florida Georgia Line and Luke Bryan. Now, Florida Georgia Line I've never really been into, but Luke Bryan is a maximum guilty pleasure. I don't care how growy, how much of a Chad he is. I love the man. Meantime, I'm going through another station, and I can't tell what it is, but we've whistled them anyway. There's more cows. I would like to inform you there's more cows. Comes across like that, but he's done so much for communities like the LGBT. Yeah, good to hear. I have been meaning to investigate whether he's... I'm pretty certain I'd heard that he'd done some pretty nice progressive things. Good to hear he's being a good ally. Nice to hear it. Also interestingly about Florida Georgia Line, they were offered to play Joe Biden's inauguration. One half of because they're a duo, one half of Florida Georgia Line were like, hell yeah. The other was like, fuck no. So one guy from Florida Georgia Line played the inauguration of Joe Biden, and it was like, why did the other guy not want to play? And he was like, what do you think? I'll let you guess. The Interleague International Intercontinental Tree Derby between Nottingham Forest and the Portland Timbers. Nottingham Forest in the Premiership. It's good to see them back in the Premier League again. I was really rooting for them for 2 reasons. Number one, well, 3 reasons. Number one, I quite like them. They're one of those like classic clubs. I remember reading a book about Brian Clough and his time in charge of Nottingham Forest and the kind of mystique they had. So it was pretty cool. I like them as a kind of classic English club, They have former AFC Wimbledon superstar Lyle Taylor on the books, which is lovely. He's now won 2 from 2 playoff finals at Wembley, at least. He might have won one with Charlton as well, but he helped us win the League 2 playoff final 6 years ago last Sunday, which is very cool. It was lovely to reminisce on that as we now re-enter League 2. So half of Florida Georgia Line are fans of Cheetos. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So, yeah, what was I saying? And also, I just wanted a different team in the Premier League. Like, Vic's Brentford were the exceptions last season, which was lovely, and it's good to see they've stayed up. But we were getting into this horrible situation where it was like, I've unlocked an achievement, unstoppable. I'm guessing that's how many miles I've driven in this game. Yeah! Repulse is happy at my achievements. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so we're getting into this horrible situation where it's like, what teams have come up from the Championship this season? Watford, Norwich, West Bromwich Albion maybe. Who's gone down to the Championship? Fulham, Bournemouth, Sheffield United. Who's come up next season? Who's come up? Fulham, Bournemouth, West Bromwich, Sheffield United. Who's gone down? Watford, Norwich, West Bromwich Albion. This is like the same, like Fulham have just gone down, up, down, up, down, up, down. They've yo-yoed about all over the place for the last like 4 or 5 years, I swear. Every year they'll like win the Championship at a canter, and then just go up to the Premier League and do nothing, and do absolutely fuck all, and then go down again. Yeah, Rainmeister's saying it. You need to stop letting Norwich, Fulham, and West Brom yo-yo up and down with the parachute pains. Yeah, exactly. Oh, just noticed we've got a yellow signal coming up. Hello, we might need to pay attention again here. But yeah, it's nice to see Brentford being like an exception. They finally got promoted to the Premier League for the first time in their history, I want to say. Vic will correct me on that. He's a Brentford fan here. And Nottingham Forest, well, it's the first time they've been in the big dance since the mid-2000s, I think. It's been a while for them between drinks. But good to see them back again. They're one of the teams that I like when I go back to FIFA Soccer 95 on the Sega Mega Drive. It's my first ever football video game. The Premier League in that season is unrecognisable now. Like you've got Arsenal, Man United, Man City, I think, Aston Villa, Chelsea, Liverpool, Everton, a lot of big hitters. And then you've got teams like Wimbledon, the original Wimbledon, Ipswich Town, Bradford City, champions that season, Blackburn Rovers, Derby County, Leeds United. Well, Leeds are back now in the Premier League anyway, but yeah, like, there's a lot going on there. So I've just taken the regulator down. We are coasting and we are getting yellow signals. We're also coming up rather rapidly on Crewe. So we're starting to slow for Crewe. I wanted to say Blackburn Rovers. Yeah, they were there. Portsmouth, I think. Who was one? There was one team that was in the inaugural Premier League for the first few seasons. And then went down and then sort of plummeted down to League 2, and now I think they're being relegated to non-league after having one of the worst owners in football history for the last few seasons. And that's sliding under a very, very low bar that's already been set, So, right, we're gonna start braking here because we do need to start slowing rather drastically. This is 1946-47. Oldham Athletic, there you go. Also, hello, Swatty89. Are you new here? Welcome in, by the way. Good to see you in here. As we power into Crewe Coal Yard. Once again, just look at the wagons, the stuff happening, the amount of stuff happening. Guarantee all of this is now McDonald's, Premier Inns, Travelodges, Asda's, Lidl's, I don't know, flipping Wendy's. Paula Brady's out here, long-time viewer on YouTube. Well, welcome over. Good to have you over here. Lovely to see you over here. We need to actually give it some acceleration now. Yeah, welcome in, Paula. How are you doing lately? Yeah, this is a problem. We've had to put the brakes on, and now we're still slowing. We need to actually. Although, having said all of that, we might still need to stop altogether because the next signal is still showing red. Although that's in the platform, so insert coffee shop here for yeah. It's just a row of like Starbucks and Costas and Pretz and something else. McDonald's, Subway, another McDonald's, another Subway, even though they're literally within looking distance of each other. Oh, look at the Crewe shed over there. Crewe works with an entire like row of Jubilees steaming away in the yard. That's lovely. Look at that. Oh my goodness, look at this. Intersection of all these different lines. I'm not sure where those lines have come from. But here we are at Crewe. And our locomotive has come home. This is home for this loco. Let's make sure he arrives home in style. What about Greg's? Oh yeah, absolutely Greg's. We're in the north, so 100% Greg's. Do 181, we're trundling. Whoa, we're going over the points. I thought for a moment we were going into that bay platform. I was like, that makes no sense. This train's going for London. And also, blimey, we'd have to stop very quickly if that was the case. Coast in, it's on the nice and level. This is good. Doing a heckin' big chuff. We can open these probably. And close that. Moment. Isn't that a Tesco now? Probably all of it is. And what we want to do is 100, 99, 80, 70, 60. Maximum brakes. There you go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yes. There you go. Absolutely spot on. Like I say, I have no idea how I'm actually better at stopping a loco. Hang on. Ooh, okay. I thought all the Jubilee locos in this route spawned with 5A. So maybe this loco hasn't come home. Not today, anyway. McChuff is what they serve at the McDonald's at Crewe. Tesco's! 8A was Edge Hill, Liverpool. Okay. So this loco has come from home. Home was actually back at Liverpool. Steaming away on the platform. Doing a heckin' good steam. Having a rest after a job well done. Well, not a rest, actually. In reality, it will go like hundreds of miles more down to London. So, but for now, that's the end of our bit of the journey. We're going to hop off here. And we got a gold medal. We got a gold medal even though we were 10 minutes late in the end. But look at that stop accuracy, though. Look at that. The new Pokemon game has a Pokemon called Lechonk. For real? For real? Alright. I'm going to leave now. See you later, Jerry. Have a good rest of your journey. They'll probably swap the crews for him as well. Speaking of Crewe, here we are. We're at Crewe Station. We're changing crews at Crewe. For those asking, by the way, nowadays the current Crewe railway centre is over there. So those old sheds and that are part of the Crewe railway centre now, where you'll see like preserved locos and coaches and stuff. Condense this entire view down by about 75%, and you have what's here now. Literally from about the width of this signal post here to the width of like that white building over there. That's all that's left. Yeah, everything has just been rationalised. Rationalised. You know, in the same way that food was rationalised in World War II, down to bits of ersatz lard and crisps made of dust and pubes. So, yeah, that's a pretty good analogy for the modern railway network, actually. Our train's heading off. See you later, train. See you later, Repulse. Well, see you tomorrow, probably, once you're back up from London. I'll be working the sleeper back up, I don't know. Anyway, let's have a wander around Crewe Station, shall we? Crewe Station 1958 edition. Another lovely station. It's still very nice today, you know, regardless of the rationalisation. Still very nice, gotta say. Some steps up there, some bay platforms here, some more bay platforms, some more Michael Bays over there. The Merseyside derby at Anfield. Natural enthusiasm. You are nothing without it. I think that's what Bill Shankly once said. Strong tea. All problems solved by a cuppa. I agree. I agree. Also, I'm trying to remember what the collectibles are on this route. This might be one of them. Oh no, it's a sign that has a... We're painting a sign. There we go. It's loaded in. Chocolate. Perfect gift idea. I also agree. Waiting room. Waiting for a train. There's a waiting room right there. If you want to use it. No class 323s, 350s, 390s or Voyagers in sight. Honestly, I kind of prefer it like this. Tuscanity redeemed, make a cup of tea. I will shortly. Just have an explore of Crewe Station. One of the beer barrels has been leaking. You might want to fix that. Look at all this. Look at all the infrastructure and just everything about it. It's just a magnificent thing. It's just a magnificent thing. Random stacks of like bags and stuff everywhere. Luggage trolley there. I thought that was actually some suitcases laying in the middle of the track. Not so. There's a random coach here in the buffer stops. Oh, it's a guard's van. Or a brake van. Hey, we can get in it. This is the northern end of the station, so we came in from... let me think about this. We came in from right over there where that green bridge is. Over there. It's just a lot going on. Many things. Many things. Where's my phone going off? Oh, hello. Just someone on Instagram DMing me their journal. Or a photo of their journal, I should say. Journaling friend, nerd friends. Nerdy journaling friends. Cleans white best. Zap. Fruity flavours. Chewy fruit wine. No, fruit gums. Not just for children. No, I agree. Oh, damn it, you made me want them now. You made me want fruit gums. They're not the same thing. Having a jog. They're jogging down the platforms. Now, there are a series of collectibles at each of the stations on this route. I can't remember what they are. I think posters is one of them. Route maps is another. There's one that is like piles of suitcases, I think, or luggage. Aha! So is this just a blackboard that people can randomly doodle stuff on? No, it isn't. We've put up a post at London for your holidays. Fares, British Railway stations, offices, and agencies. This is one of those old posters that you have to read in that sort of old public service announcement voice. London for your holidays. Services and fares from British Railway stations, offices, and agencies. See England by rail. I agree. Nowadays, it's why do you want to see England by rail? Why? Is that a football stadium over there? That's a football stadium. Is that Crewe Alexandra's football stadium over there? Oh my goodness me. It's a random brake van vibing in the sidings there. Well, there's a road ramp down there for, freight operations there for parcels, probably. You get like parcels vans and that would come down the ramp. Lovely sunny day. Unlike outside right now. Hey, we're in a video game. We can make things our own way if we want them. So I assume this is a rake of coaches either just being stored here for the moment, or... That's a nice detail. Which one's that? Or which bit's that? Look at that. Look at that. It's just a magnificent thing. Nowadays, it's Britain runs on rail, except it doesn't. Britain doesn't want to run on rail. And there's the carriage sheds over there. More carriage sheds over there. Crewe Junction signal box. Loco sheds all the way up there. The stadium in the background. Oh, yeah, it is. That is a lovely touch. Very nice. And there's some random, I don't know, allotments and sheds and stuff. Anyway, yeah, I think we've explored enough of Crewe Station. So what I'm going to do, I'm briefly going to pop out, have a break, administer the country. Britain doesn't want to run full stop. No. No. That would involve effort and caring about people, which they're incapable of doing. So, yes, I'm going to refill my tea mug, and I'll be back momentarily. Take the opportunity as well to top up your own water or make yourself pop the kettle on for yourself, get some a drink and or a snack, whatever you want to choose, have a stretch, stand up, do all the good things, and we'll be back momentarily to head back towards Liverpool. Oops. Okay, we are back. Are we? Yes, we are. Yes, we're back in business. We're back in business. We're back in witness. And do you want to know the good news or the really good news? The good news is I have a fresh cup of tea. The really good news is this time I have bickies. I've got biscuits. Tea and biscuits. Life doesn't get much better. They are custard creams and they are S tier, and I will not accept any arguments at this time. I will not be taking any further questions at this time. Yep. What do you have near me? Excellent. What biscuits do you have? We've got a ticket to ride. We have. We have indeed. I've just had 3 cans of Arizona iced tea arrive. Oh, blimey. What? Right. So, I'm thinking this. We make our way back towards Liverpool. And we also drive the HF, the thick freight boy. And, from Crewe to Edge Hill, the brake van tour. Good old H2O for me. Excellent. Witness to Speak Junction. Oh, we did that one as part of the tutorial. There we go. Bound for Birmingham Curzon Street from Edge Hill to Basford Hall Yard. I got you. I'm trying to see if there's a way to get to Edge Hill. There we go. 1:26 in the morning. Time for some night freight, I think. The Night Freight Orchestra. Up for that, we feeling it? I think we are. Let's go. Definitely will need those cups of tea. Also, how are we feeling about the face camera in place here? Are we thinking yay or nay? What are we doing? What are we thinking about that? Still not entirely satisfied, but I'll see. Right. Basford Hall Yard to Edge Hill. Oh, yes, it's very dark. So we're definitely going to need this on. Oh, it's Jerry again. He's back. They were so impressed with the job we did last time. We have returned. Oh, look at that, the full moon and everything. Open Syndicate. Stop at location. Salop Goods Junction down Liverpool Independent. Okay. So. Versa. Forwards. Pre-flight checks. Open the ejectors. Nope. Small ejectors already open. Doop-de-doop-de-doo. And the brakes are on. So we release the brake. And we have a van train with us, so... Oh, we were moving briefly. Oh. We were moving briefly. I hope if we close that. And this. Whoa! Okay, that was the big deal. Closing the cylinder cocks was the big one. Aww. I was about to say, tricky thing about doing this by moonlight, you can't really see what the valve gear is doing, but the full moon is shining upon a... It's like a were train. Train wolf. Right, system check. Everything good. So we have to stop at the upcoming location. Doing a heck and trundle. Look at that, we've got a mixer freight. So there's our brake van at the back, the guard in it. And we've got sort of half the train is comprised of vans by the look of it, and the other half looks to be timber wagons. Yeah, there's sheets of wood. Bits like that. Nice. Okay. Clanking across the points and everything. A lot of mechanical sounds you get with the old trains as well. That's one other thing I love about them. Again, it's what kind of humanises them for me. Up the regulator speed a little bit. Dial the reverser back a bit as well. Jerry's already shoveling away. Good work, Jerry. You've been doing good today. We're actually now speeding, so we don't need to. Are we about to climb a gradient, or? No, we're on the flat. Okay. Oh, we're actually going quite downhill. Things are going downhill fast. The flying kipper. Around a tight bend. What the? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, this is a disaster, an absolute disaster. We derailed at 25 miles an hour. This just fell over. Oh no! Damn you, Ronnie B. Oh, god damn it. Let's try this again, shall we? No, they really weren't kidding when they said the 20-mile-an-hour speed limit was 20 miles an hour. I thought, it's just a suggestion. We were doing 25 and a 20, that'll be fine. The F. Look at the same fate didn't before Jeremy Clarkson. Oh my god. What a mess. Right, this time around, we get all the pre-flight checks done and everything. So, lamp. I'm a lamp, you fam. You have caused confusion and delay. 70 is just a suggestion for motorways. Brakes off. Oh, hang on. Close those. There we go. We are moving. We are once again moving. Now, one thing I'm just going to... So there's our train. It's moving, isn't it? No, it's not moving. It was moving, and now, it's the wheel spin. Yeah. Here we go. Come on. Health and safety visits the island of Sodor. Come on. Come on. There we go. There we go. Alright, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to just check the map. Full map. That one. There we go. So there's our train. Oh, Child Weeb is raiding! Oh my goodness me! My goodness me! I've got a raid going on. It's a... Hang on. Trains! I know, right? Some chaotic event. Choo-choo! Blitz is here with the follow as well. And the follow from Icy Fire Wizard Asriel98. My goodness me! And now you open on 2 tabs on my laptop. Hey! Hello, Sudoku! So this is a hello for everyone following and joining in. Poker Champ Jen as well. Hello. Welcome in, everyone. That's the train's way of saying hello. Just call me Asriel. Okie doke. Wanted to see the Sims drama. Oh, I don't blame you, honestly. I don't blame you. How's things going? I'll focus. It's a Black 5. Yeah, not quite. It's a slightly bigger Black 5. It's a 8. Black 8. There you go. Rach Lee 98's out here as well. We may have made someone from family. Oh, God. I don't know if that is a good thing or not, really. Right, so you join us at quite a high-pressure situation here. We're doing a trundle with this freight, with our big thick boy AF steam loco here. Look at this big thick boy under the cover of moonlight, in the moonlight shadow. Is that pun included? Which one? There are many. We've got a guard's van on the brake van on the back. We've got some bits of wood. We've got some bits of wood and some vans full of, I don't know, kippers, full of fish or whatever. We had a sim that looked like Quagmire, but his conquest with Quagdire. Hey. Also got Sean a lovely frat back from, okay, not the other thing, right, okay. Good to know. So you join us in a bit of a high-pressure situation here, just because we just attempted this scenario moments ago and then derailed at 25 miles an hour. Our train fell over, basically. So we're looking to avoid that situation happening again, obviously. So I'm just checking. This blue line here is us. That's our route. So we keep going. We go round. I think it was round about here. So it doesn't... Okay, so it doesn't look like there's any points going on. Yeah, no, it looks... The train fell over. It did. Driving old trains is hard. We've got no, like, wheel slip protection or anything. You got to do it, you know. So, going down quite a... Charlie's upstairs and I just heard a cackle. Oh, dear. Right, so we are trundling along with our very heavy freight train. So we're now going slightly downhill. This is what caught us at before. This is the flying kipper, which means there'll be a horrific crash and Henry will be sent back to Crewe. Right, combination brake. Braking. We have no throttle on at the moment at all. Trundling, come on. Oh, no, now we're speeding up again. Need that brake. Need that brake. You aren't allowed to crash steam trains. I mean, I'm trying not... Right, this is where it all fell apart last time. So, here we go. Here we go. No, Charles, I refuse to let you crash old trains. They're far too lovely for that. New trains, fine, there's enough of them. We still ain't getting married on one. Oh, no, no, totally, you should, though. There's the games journalist and autistic trans icon, Laura K. Buzz. Also a massive train nerd. She actually did get married to a partner, to a wife, on a train. It was a Pendolino, it wasn't a... Mine would have to be a classic train. Henry is a Black 5, not an 8F. Is that Henry I see? No, close enough. It's Henry's slightly thicker cousin for handling heavy freight. I also have good news for everyone. We have navigated the slight bend which caused our train to fall over last time. So things are going well. Let's do a hecking big chuff. We need to stop at location up here. Oh, bring a fucking traction engine. Blitz, I never knew you were a train nerd. One of us. One of us. One of us. Right. So we've got a red signal coming up. I'm getting married on a ranch or on a turbo star. There is no in between. You know, whatever you want, man. Got some coaches up there in the yard. Okay, let's be very careful. We are coming up on a red signal. Heavy freight. Didn't know you were handling my dump truck. Hello, Maelstrom. Maelstrom. How are you doing? Are you from Charles' chat as well? Right. On the slow and level. There's the signal we have to stop at right there. There it is. I'm stopping at the red signal for Salop Goods Junction down Liverpool Independent, which is a bit of a mouthful. When the local... That's actually the name of the local non-league team, but they thought it was a bit of a mouthful, really. Do-do-do. Oh, gold. Aha! Right, quick. The brakes. Brakes. No! Oh, God damn it! Why is this the hardest so far? We've literally... Right, for those of you that have just arrived from Charles' chat, we've literally just driven an express from Liverpool to Crewe, averaging 70 to 80 miles an hour the whole way. I now can't do a scenario that involves us going along at 20 miles an hour through a yard. Oh, God. New Thomas doesn't exist. I thought we all agreed. Some people complain that Thomas has become too PC with female locos and locos from other countries. The real problem with the new Thomas is that they made Gordon a prairie. What do you mean Gordon literally based on the Flying Scotsman? Poor. Anyway. Right. Third time lucky. You, on. So I can see what the fuck we're doing. We've not got Jerry anymore. This is, Davis. You right there, Davis? How you doing? Get shoveling some coal now. I'm working the night shift and I'm cranky, alright? So, reverser. Maximum forwards. There we go. Ejector, small ejector, fully open. Close those. And then we do... the brake's still on, so we might want to turn that off. Yes, the brakes are off. Can we do a hecking big chuff? We're now running as 48009, so 2 up from James Bond. We're 2 better than James Bond. We have to be able to do this. The country is in ruins. I blame the previous Chancellor, Gordon Brown. I shall write to my local council and complain. I know yards are tight and all, but fucking blast it. I'm trying. Child, please get some DLC for Train Sim World for when I'm next down. Hell yeah. Whoa. Steady. We now got wheel spin. Yeah, those of you who don't know about steam trains, you can do burnouts with a steam loco. What's this? Anyway, it's not actually good for them, but still. If you really want to do a hecking big chuff, you can do burnouts with a steam loco. But actually, we don't want to do that. We just want to get moving. Come on. Come on, big thick boy. It's up, honey. Sheffield is above Derby. That's right. That's another... that's a train-related term right there. Because everything going in the up direction is towards London. And everything going in the down direction is going away from London. Which is why it fucked with my head when I was from Kent. And I was clearly going northwest to go and see my then-girlfriend at the time when I was in my teens in Cardiff. And everyone said, you're going down to Cardiff. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm not doing that. I'm really not doing that. Be like, oh, you're going down to Liverpool from London? No. No, I'm not doing that. Right, anyway. Brief bit of speed. Chuff, 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 chuff. The crazy thing is there have been female locos since the OG series. Do people not remember Daisy, Mavis, and Emily? No, of course not, because women have only existed in fiction in the last 5 years because of the woke libtard lefties ruining all entertainment ever. Right, we're up to 15 miles an hour. Why is it up to London? I don't know, because London is the centre of the universe, apparently. 8:30 p.m. weekdays and Sundays. The down postal service leaves Euston for Glasgow, Edinburgh, and Aberdeen. Blame the railways, dear. Whammon. I know, right? Right. We are doing our hecking big trundle. We're doing a choo-choo. With our freight logo. Wrong answers only in the comments. What are in those freight vans that we're hauling? Because we can clearly see what are in the wagons behind. Oh, hello. That's where you got to be careful. That's a sharp little decline there. Like my mental health, it's in sharp. It can decline very quickly. It's a steep decline. Anyway. All right, trundling. Nick, your comment just reminded me of a joke that I want to say it's Ed Byrne made. He said really didn't go. That joke that really didn't go over in Liverpool. The locals really enjoyed it when I told them that the only reason that Liverpool Airport's named Liverpool John Lennon Airport is that that's the first place John Lennon went when he got a bit of money. I.e. leaving the city. Okay, right, there we go. Brakes off, we're still coasting. Women only started to exist in recent centuries. Boris Johnson's illegitimate children. Oh dear. Right, okay, we have made it through the chicane of death. The slight chicane of mild peril. Okay. So, what episode of Top Gear is it where it's like, this is the best bit of driving I've ever had to do in my life? Isn't it one of the specials where he's having to drive at like 3 miles an hour over like a wooden bridge? Oh, and the signal's actually green for us, by the way. But we still have to stop at the Salop Goods Junction Down Liverpool Independence Day celebration. Oh, now we've got the red signal. Okay, so we have navigated The slight chicane of mild peril. We now have the red signal of destiny. Quick bit of maximum blast throttle. There we go. Right, and now we just let that off. Right, the brakes have got maximum pressure in them. Once again, we're driving a much heavier freight train, so that's probably why it wasn't braking as quickly. With the Jubilee, it was, well, it's still a pretty heavy passenger. Having to go dead slow under a waterfall. That was it, yeah. Probably scripted, but it didn't look it. That was also the same special where James May was like, you do realise I'm petrified of heights. So none of this ha-ha run into the back of James thing. Right. 90, 80, 70, full brakes. Full brakes. Who's coming out? Full brakes, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah. That's the most exciting bit of driving. That's the greatest bit of driving I've ever done in my life. Right. Okay. Brakes off. Can confirm we have a green signal. There it is. We have the green light. Let's do a hecking big chuff. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Well, the wheel spin. We're doing burnouts. We're doing burnouts and not... Oops, no. We've stopped. Come on. Yeah, this must be a heavy freight load. This must be a heavy freight train right here. No, we're wheel spinning again. Hang on. I have a cunning plan. Where is it? Where the sand? No, not the blower. No, where is it? There must be a sander on this Loco, surely. Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're moving anyway. Very slowly. Power. Trying to. Come on. Come on. No, but I was actually looking for the sander, which actually just dumps a load of sand over the tracks in front of the wheels so they have better grip. Couldn't find where it is in the cab, but it doesn't matter. We are moving. A little bit more. Come on. A little bit more. Chuff, 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 chuff. A big, thick freight boy. It's too heavy now, sadly. I think I've retired for the night. Been a fun couple of hours, though. Thank you, Mark. Hope the rest of the stream goes spiffingly. I hope so, too. Thank you for joining in as usual, Mark. Have a good night's sleep, mate. It's the full moon lurking. About 10 years too early for this, but in the cab right now is playing Bad Moon Rising by Crewe Clearwater Revival's playing. Can you throw the lamps on at all? At the front, I thought I would be able to. I turned that one on. Now, normally it's H for the headlights. I'm trying that. Shift H, Control and H. Yeah, no, I think you can, but I think you have to manually get out of the Loco and go down and, like, interact with them on foot, as it were. Chuffety, 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 chuffety. Last year, the Strasbourg Railroad had an all-women engine crew. The old heads in the rail preservation community, including a guy named Ross Rowland, who was a big name in preservation in the 1970s, lost their shit because there were women in the cab. My God. No, I know, right? What? What the... Camera just glitched straight through into the boiler. Opinions on Monaco and the 500. Hot take, Monaco was better. Disagree, but both were good. I'm not out here to argue about which one was better. I just enjoyed both, which is nice because normally Monaco's like a nice parade. Oh, now we're going up a steep incline. I see you're leaving out Charlotte for a reason. Because it wasn't a race. Sounds like Yahtzee there, talking about Ride Tail Retribution. Because it's not a game, it's congealed failure. You're leaving out the Coke 600 because it wasn't a race. It's a pile of congealed scrap metal. Under the cover of moonlight. Hang on, let me see. Control guide. Locomotive. Blower increase, lol. Couple of lock. Cruise control. Cylinder drains toggle. Dynamic brake. Engine shutdown. Ejector. Gauge lights. Gear. Handbrake. Headlights. Headlights front. Headlights back. Headlights front increase. Yeah, it should just be H. The World Figure 8 Championships were high quality. Don't get Nick started again, seriously. Just don't. Happily chuffing along here at 15 miles an hour because the speed limit's about to go to 15 anyway, so. Meantime, what's going on in the back? Oh, brake van at the back, just like, yeah, is there anyone here? There should be someone in it. Do. BCC 2023 is doing the Donington, the hairpin, the long loop, yeah. Is that as a second separate weekend, or is that just for the one Donington round? It's just going to be on the long circuit. Either way, it's cool to see it coming back. We're going to watch the next World... No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. JBS, I'm overruling you. Meantime. Aha! What's that, about a 15 mile an hour speed limit? It's now jumped to 90 miles an hour. You know what I think that means? Power! Oh, the reverser back as well. There we go. Oh, yeah, we're off and running now. We have made it through the most treacherous part of the entire route, which is the yards at 20 miles an hour. 2 Donny rounds. Oh, it's a second. Nice. Okay. Because I know there's been a gap in the calendar in the recent years because of the demise of Rockingham. Rest of it. Aha! There we go. We can use this. We can use this camera to attach the lamps. What about? I don't know what head codes these are, but. No, not red. There we go. Yes, we've got lights. It's on that Ellie Goulding song. Yeah, there we go. We have lights. Let there be light. Meantime, back aboard the cab. Davis still shuffling away. Look at him there. Grime on his suit, his dungarees. Just ignore anyone new here in the chat. Ignore the invisible coal. It's there in your mind. It's real. It exists. As does the Bovril in Davis's flask there. Very nice. I've got my cup of tea here, so. Last night we learned what happens when 2 hockey teams completely forget what playing defense is. The coal is the friend. So honestly, great minds. Rest of the chat, you'll back me up. Didn't I make that exact same joke at the top of the string? Ah, great minds. Charlotte, no. Would you say 2 rounds at Brands is normal at this point? Yeah, because it used, for a while it was the traditional season starter, and then on the short circuit, then the long circuit was the season closer. So that's okay. I think doubling up rounds was okay. I think it was mainly like a thing of, you used to have 10 race weekends, but with the demise of Rockingham, there's now a space, and there's not really any other tracks to add, unless you go to Anglesey. Go to Anglesey, you cowards. Or revive the Birmingham Super Prix, you cowards. But in the meantime, they just kind of had to double up another of the existing rounds. So recently it's been Thruxton, which is kind of like, all right, then why does that get 2 rounds? It's not like they run a different layout. But at least with tracks like Silverstone and Donington, you get different layouts. That's what they're doing with Donington now. You know, Blitz is disappointing me when I get Charlotte. When someone full names you. We are motoring along now. Look at this. Lights will guide you home, etc. It's 20 to 2 in the morning. So, yeah, there's no animals in the fields. They're all very much asleep. The cows are having a heckin' big sleep. Choo-choo. Choo-choo. I can do that. Yes. I love that this was the route. This route is historic. It's a lovely route. It's very... We just got... Guys, I would like to inform you, we briefly got wheel spin at 52. We're getting wheel spin at 52 miles an hour. They're slipping. We're getting wheel spin at 52 miles an hour. Go to Mondello Park? Yep. Yes. Castle Combe is still around. Yep. Pembrey is still around, I think. Cadwell Park. Cadwell Park. Why was Charles full named? I can't remember. Being herself, basically. Oh, can we just see, by the way? Look at the sparks on the wheel. Look at the sparks on the wheels. That's like... You know, cars produce tyre smoke when they do burnouts. These produce sparks. Because believe it or not, this is a fact that my mum refuses to believe, trains have tyres. Look, listen, I didn't say they were rubber tyres, because they're not, obviously, but they're softer strips of metal around the main wheels, and they are the tyres. So that's what you can see, the tyres wheel spinning there on the track. Because it's metal on metal, it's sparking. Charles' full name, but why Chris Kamara? I don't know, Jeff. Setting a house on fire in The Sims 2? I don't know. No, you're right. I saw the house burn down, but I thought they were going to revive them from the dead, Jeff. Arson. Look. Long live Mary Sue. Long live Mary Sue Langarek is all I'm saying. Only steam locomotives have tyres. No, I believe diesels do. I think. Yeah, no, and units do. Units do, because you can actually have, you know, flats where you've actually locked the brakes suddenly and there's like a wheel that's flat. Mary Sue will live on in our hearts, yeah? Look at this. We are legitimately wheel spinning at 65 miles an hour. This is brilliant. We are working hard. Also, I love the fact that we are the only train out here. Ooh, hang on. Whoa, listen to the wind noise and everything coming off the... We'll go this side, that's where the moonlight is. Oh, look at that. Chugga, 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 chugga. Henry little bro Charles Leclerc. Oh, look at us. It's me just leaning out the window like, yep, nope, we're definitely doing a hecking big chuff. Also, my face is very cold and covered in soot. Oh, yeah. 68 miles an hour and still wheel spinning. You found the headlamps. I did. Hang on, there's a way you can edit them on the fly. You do that and then boop, like that. There you go. Head code Royal Train. Oh, okay, hang on. Head code. Aha, head code F. That would be why it didn't look right. So this is your head code, your light combination to signify a freight train coming. So if we take this off, what does that mean? Head code K. Okay then. Take this one off, what does that leave? B. I don't know what that means. Head code F. So I'm going to assume F is for freight. That would be the logical conclusion. As we are storming through the station. If there's anyone still on the platform at 2 in the morning, well, there's probably some veg. Look at how fast the flipping running gear's going. The speed is real. There's a heritage railway in the United States where the tyres were so loose on the drivers of one of the locomotives that one of them actually came off. Oh, that's not supposed to happen. Oh, we've got another single box here. Winsford Goods Yard. Morning. Morning, motherfuckers. We're bouncing along at 75 miles an hour. 76 miles an hour. Cyber's out doing an all-nighter. He is. I mean, the speed's 90 miles an hour, and it's the middle of the night, so there's nothing else out here, so... I think, you know, what might be happening a bit, as we're going along, with the kind of, the Loco sort of bumping a bit up and down, bouncing a bit up and down on the track, is maybe making the wheels, as its wheels are spinning, if they're briefly losing contact with the rail, that's what's triggering the wheel slip thing. Yeah, the brakes are off, so that's fine. We're up to 80 miles an hour now. We are really hauling the mail, except we're not hauling the mail. We're hauling whatever's in this train. The veg are awaiting Class 325s. Well, they're going to be disappointed. And they're going to get something better. A Log Chuffy boy. Hauling some vans. Still don't know what's in them. And a bunch of like wagons with a load of wood in them. And this brake van at the back. There's one guy in the back like, blimey, bouncing along like, Jesus Christ. He's going along quite quick, isn't he? Yeah, we are. Oh, this is brilliant. Oh, look at that as well. Look at that. Oh, we barely even need the lamp on in the cab. The flames. Well, as soon as that shuts, we're going to be in a bit of trouble. A bit. Except it's just not shutting. We'll keep that turned on just in case. We briefly hit 82 miles an hour there. It's probably kippers. It's fish. 81. We briefly hit 82 miles an hour. The great thing is, well, steam locos, things like this, you really have to work with them because they are basically living things. They are living organisms, living creatures, living machines. It's holding the tears of the Ferrari fans. Belting through another station there, another station on the mile. Like it's plug. Still got 12 miles to go until the go via location fast line. I.e. the line that Daniel Ricciardo cannot access right now. Tifosi Express. Toot. Toot toot. I've been here the whole time. I figured so. Lurking is perfectly acceptable. Don't think I didn't see you derail. I don't know what you're talking about. Look, listen, right? Will not accept this absolute slander. I apparently need to go do laundry things, according to my mum. Be back in a bit. See you in a bit, Sudoku. Well, whatever is in those vans, even if it is just kippers, it's they're getting bounced along quite a bit now. Like I say, back here, the guy in the brake van's like, gee, blimey, you really, take now. Jesus Christ. This is the nightmare crossing the border. They're flying kippers then, they really are. Belting through the stations at full speed is ridiculous. Oh no. Guys, I have some bad news. We do actually have to slow down momentarily. Bringing the check and the postal order. Letters from the rich, letters from the poor. Shopping and the woman and the girl next door. We're just hitting 83 miles an hour. 83 miles an hour in this big thick boy with a fully loaded freight on it. Oh yeah. Bearing in mind, this thing's built not for top speed, but for just pulling power. For power. 84 miles an hour. Okay, that's a yellow for the other line, I think. Yeah, it's green signal for us. Okay. Right. 84 miles an hour. We do actually have to do some braking, though. And I'm not taking any chances, given what happened earlier. Oh, no, we're only doing 4 miles over the speed limit. Nothing can go wrong. Nothing can go wrong. Also, the braking on this... If this thing gets to 88 miles an hour... God, no. Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no. We're still not slowing down anywhere near enough. Okay, finally. Finally. This isn't even... Oh, there we go. Okay, we made it. Speed limit lied to us. That was definitely less than 60. We can go up to 65 momentarily, so... I wonder if power braking works in this. Might do. So the speed limit is still slowing to 65 in a minute, so more yellow signals up here. There's a DeLorean in front of me. Alright, 65. Okay, let's... oh, we're getting wheel spin again. We're still losing speed. Oh, we are going uphill, so give it the beans. This is wheel spin again. More wheel spinning. Oh, it's a single track branch by the look of it that we're on. This must be a freight only loop. Speed back up to 80 momentarily. Yeah, this must just be a freight loop. A passing loop or something. Yeah, there's another track there. Having actually been at the throttle of a steam locomotive, these things are not easy. No, they're not. I'm kind of impressed with how kind of user-friendly they've been made to run in Train Sim World 2. I know in Train Simulator, I could never figure out what the bloody hell I was doing. I think there was one stream where I tried driving a pannier tank for about an hour and a half. It just sort of stopped on a hill and we were like, what are we doing? Just nothing happening. What's that? Speed limit's back up to 80 miles an hour. Wheel spin again. You know, they are very tough to drive. They're a kind of a balancing act, if anything. Green signals though, which is very nice. Things you love to see. Doobie doobie doo. Yeah, we are actually not gaining speed. Then again, that's okay in that we are going uphill. And apparently still wheel spinning. I don't know how that's even possible. It's not possible! Oh, I was really hoping to get some sparks in one of those screenshots. I maintain that we need a class 484 in Train Sim World also. What's a retro option for the Isle of Wight line? I wheel spun 611 in front of like 10 people. The throttle is tight on it. When I was trying to open it, it wouldn't go. Then I yanked it and was like, okay. So it literally was like, clunk, and then suddenly it went. Is it like me trying to drive a 65 Mustang on at Brands Hatch, and I stalled it about 3 times before we even got out of the pit box? Because the clutch was basically like a signal. It was like, clunk. I'm waiting for TSW to release an American Steam scenario. Well, since this one's now out, I think the floodgates are going to open. They've been wanting to do it a lot for a long time. There's loads they could do. I mean, the main sort of trio of settings they've had so far has been England, Germany, well, United Kingdom, Germany, and America. And there's been like French routes and things like that as well. So there's potential in all of those countries. So Germany had a lot of steam. Britain, obviously, take your pick. Decades and decades of steam routes there. Please can the next one be a Great Western one? Please can the next one be Dawlish Seawall 1962? Please, please, I will debase myself for this. Or at the very least, Waterloo to Exeter, Bully Pacifics. Although the whole Waterloo to Exeter might be a bit long, but you know. The Somerset and Dorset, that would be baller. Because you could use these locos actually. Because it was a Southern Railway / LMS joint railway. Even in BR days, these would be on the Somerset and Dorset. Alongside Southern Region Bully Pacifics. Basically did invent the steam train. I think he did, yeah. But yeah, America has tons of great steam routes we can have as well. There's a lot of potential. Oh no, we've got to slow down again. Okay, that's fine. Next to the Salisbury, that's a good one, yeah. My granddad's 70s Chrysler had the old style foot pedal parking brake. The clunk it made sounded like you were braking something. Sounds about right, yeah. That's like 70 miles. Oof. Well, I know the West Cornwall local that we've got, which is St Austell to Penzance, is 48 miles, I think. 44 to 48 miles. Trying to think how long the other routes we get, or we have already. Oh, I know Northern Transpennine is pretty long. FNAR. This is a pretty decent length. Not the longest, I don't think, but it's a decent length. I think the maximum length for any route is, well, the West Somerset Railway, I think technically is not a very long route per se. It just takes like an hour and a half to get from end to end because it's a heritage line and you're running at like 0.3 miles an hour for most of it. Although, if we're really being realistic, you probably should be able to just turn the speed limits off for that because, look, listen, right? I'm not saying heritage lines regularly kind of take the 25 mile an hour speed limit as a suggestion, but there's been times. There's been times, you know. Also, we're going downhill. We're at nice miles an hour, but we do need to start slowing down again. So, crank that brake pedal, crank that brake lever, crank that braking boy. Did you see any of the Nürburgring 24 Hours? Was it this past weekend? I didn't realise it was on. To be fair, but the amount of racing that was on this weekend, I don't think anyone can blame me. Oh, we're just not slowing down at all, are we? Where's... Open the ejectors, please. Okay, there we go. We are slowing now. Ooh, coming through a station as well. Ooh, I wonder what station this is. Love the lamps on the platforms and that. That's very cool. Right, anyway, now we can stop braking. Oh, no, we can't, actually, because in 2 miles we've got to do 20 miles an hour. Oh, we're going over the viaduct. We are! We're going over the viaduct. Here we go. So that was Runcorn we just came through. Oh, look at that. The moonlight. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, yes, yes. This is magic. The glow of the lights over the city. That slight glow on the horizon where it's like a sort of like very dark red. You see it there with all the lights that are in the city. I'm coasting over the bridge, by the way, because we've got to slow down to 20 miles an hour in a moment anyway, so there's no point throttling up or anything. And over the viaduct we go. The River Mersey. Oh, this is magic. So, there's 2 things here that are working for this game's favour. Number one, nighttime stuff in this game has always looked very good. I will always say this game at night always looks really nice. The lighting engine's always been very good. And secondly, as JBS, well, to quote JBS319, who's in the chat right now, there are a few things more magical than night steam. Steam trains at night is just something scintillating. I mean, look at the glow of the cab there. If we were chuffing along at full speed, and I don't think it's quite simulated in the game, but it's a niche thing. Things like, I'm just going to start putting the brakes on because we're going down quite a steep hill and we need to slow down momentarily. So yeah, things like when the main steam's coming out the main funnel, pipe, the chimney, that's it. When it's chuffing along like that, the light from the firebox in the cab reflects out under the bottom of the smoke. So you get, it's like the smoke is glowing orange. And it's just magnificent. It's just a wonderful thing. Silhouette of the train by moonlight. Oh, we are slowing actually a lot more than we need to. Bad for steamers run super slow for too long, they can build up too much water. Yeah. When we're stopping in stations, you open up the cylinder cocks a bit. So, cock. Night steam is quite something, yeah. And I love the fact that we can now have that in this game as well. It's very cool. Oh. Clankety clank, clattering over the rails and everything. Like I said, the sounds are everything in this. Steam has the full moon. Full moon in the distance. I feel like the Great Britain should add an overnight sector. Yes. Yes, they should. Bring back sleeper trains. There are some old mining freight trains that spew actual fire from the chimney. I think there were some old locos, some steam locos that would do that. Some UK steam locos that could be persuaded to do that if they wanted to. There you go. So as we're trundling along quite slowly, and the steam's, we've not got the regulator open or anything, so the steam's not got anywhere to go. It's now jettisoning out that valve up the top. Basically, all this steam's being produced and it's got nowhere to go because the regulator's not open. So it has to go somewhere. So it's jetting out the top. Same sort of thing for when the cylinder cocks are open. Jets all the steam out the front of the cylinders there on the side. There you go. See, now I've opened the regulator again. That valve right there at the top of the cab has stopped jetting steam for the moment. So we're slowly trundling through. I think this is Edge Hill. No, this is it's a few stops before there. There were a London Glasgow rail tour using old sleeper cars and coaches. That would absolutely... Oh, God, yeah. Well, it'd be like the flipping... what do they call it? The Jacobite, which is that regular steam train service they run between Fort William and Mallaig, I think it is. They call it the Harry Potter train just because it goes over the Glenfinnan Viaduct, which is in the Harry Potter films. Which, you know, cool, but also fuck J.K. Rowling. Fuck Queen Turf J.K. Rowling. And also it's not the Harry Potter train because it's not the actual loco from the films or the coaches or anything, but you keep believing that, people. Sheeple. You absolute sheeple. Right, anyway, 20 miles an hour, up to 50. I've just seen how gammon Waterloo is right now. Oh, God, what's going on? I'm going to the Highlands, ironically enough, in September. Oh, really? Nice. I am due to go to Scotland in November, to Glasgow in November. Firstly, to meet an old friend of mine. I haven't seen her in a while. And we're both going to see her favourite band of all time and a favourite band of mine, a band that I've liked for a long time, Franz Ferdinand. Ironically, you might be thinking, well, aren't they playing London? Why do you have to go up to Glasgow? Well, yeah, they're playing London. But A, Glasgow is their hometown. Hometown gig's always going to be cool for a band. They're always going to turn it on for a hometown show, you know. And I get to go see a friend and visit a new place. She's got a spare room or sofa bed. It's very cool. And what I'll probably do is I'll have another Scotland adventure while I'm up there. Because the last time I was up there, I what started out as just me getting the one of the last ever HST Highland Chieftain trains, or last ever Highland Chieftains run by a HST, which runs all the way up to Inverness. I basically said, well, you know what, while I'm here, I've got an open return ticket, which means that as long as I follow the same route back home as I did going up, and I return home to my original starting point within... Oh, sorry, I've just noticed we've got a red signal coming up. Some Pumis coming out already. This is tense. But yeah, like I ended up staying a couple of nights in Inverness, a couple of nights in Glasgow with friends of mine there, including the person I'm seeing in November, over to Edinburgh for a couple of nights, and then a couple of nights in Newcastle on my way home. And then I spent one afternoon in York at the museum, and then got home that night. So it was lovely. My first day is doing the Glasgow Electrics. Oh, nice. Nice. Now you can do the Scottish HST. Yes. They are on my list. They are just one of many things that I'll be able to do up there. I want to do the Highland Line. One of the most spectacular railways in the world. And maybe pay a visit to Jeff Marshall's favourite station of all time, which is Crewe. Choose trains, etc. What the... Oh my god, I just had a heart attack. Oh. So I was paying attention to the red signal, which has now gone green, which is useful. Let's open up that regulator again, shall we? But I was concentrating so much on the red signal coming up, the notification to go via location fast line, we passed through it just there in that station, and it went ding, and I was convinced that it was suddenly going to be like, signal pass at danger, failure. There's the Jacobite. Oh, I'm definitely going to do the Jacobite. Glasgow to Wemyss Bay on a bus from Wemyss Bay to Largs. Wemyss Bay is a station I really need. That's probably not how it's pronounced, but Wemyss Bay is definitely a station I need to visit. That looks spectacular. What a station that is. Also, there's cows. The cows, some late night grazing for the cows. Oh, look at the glow on the horizon as well. Is this like the very first light of dawn? It's 2:05 in the morning and there's a glow on the horizon. He took down the Choose Crewe video because of copyright. Oh, that's a shame. That is a shame. But I know he still loves that station very much. And the signal box at the end of the platform, which is now a holiday home, which is amazing. Choo choo, now he's here. That's our locomotive welcoming Nay into the chat. How you doing, bud? You love the Tyne and Wear Metro around Whitley Bay. That's one I want to explore. There's a kind of semi-recurring series I want to start doing. I've kind of started it already because I did that video about Thameslink. But I'm irrationally sad that they split. I hope they're both doing well in their own lives endeavours. It sounds like a band's just broken up. I mean, yeah, it does suck. It does suck, though. For anyone who doesn't know, Jeff Marshall and his longtime partner, Vicky Pipe, who were in a lot of videos together, they have broken up IRL, which is a real shame. Hopefully they're still happy and, you know, just happy in their own lives and cool. And I liked Jeff's statement about how you still enjoy all the stuff that they made together, like the entire All the Stations project was done together. Since when? Since a few months ago, I think. Because Jeff had to put up bless him, he put up a whole post about it on his YouTube channel, because I guess just people had noticed that Vicky wasn't in any of his videos anymore, and people were just starting to ask on every single video, where's Vicky, where's Vicky, where's Vicky, you need to do Vicky for the video. So at one point Jeff just went, oh, right, do you want to know where she is? She's not coming back, damn it. No, that's the absolute meltdown version of that video. Just appears on camera drunk. Are you happy now, you fucks? But yeah, I believe Vicky's currently working for I want to say a police museum in central London, which I may have been to before, years ago now. I remember I was on a date with someone and she took us to this little museum. It was a tiny little thing, but it was quite an interesting little, like, City of London police museum thingy. Things don't have to last forever to be wonderful. You are very, very wise and very correct. I was chatting with someone early this morning, someone who's, she's a lady who was married by age 23 and divorced again by age 28, and she's now 30, I think. And she was saying about how it's like it was a chapter. It's part of your life, you know. It's not you've broken up, so it didn't work out, so everything, the entire relationship was a complete waste of time because it didn't work out as an end goal. That amount of time was still valid and it was worthwhile, you know. And that's the exact. I hope that's how Jeff and Vicky feel about it all. And the stuff they made. I'd hate to think that some of that stuff, like the most ambitious projects that video projects that Jeff would have done, is now tainted just by who he did the whole project with, or who they did the whole project with, you know? She writes for Modern Railways. Oh, that's right, yeah. A big a choo-choo anyway. Can some braking occur? I have actually applied the brakes. Can some braking occur? There we go. At last. Oh, we are on quite a steep downhill, so... There you go. Oh, now we're going uphill again, so... Also, I think on this side... Oh, look at that. Massive depot. There's the Loco sheds. The Edgehill Loco sheds. There you go. Or a large Loco shed, anyway. Last year took inspiration from their brakes from steam locos. Listen, you're not wrong. Let's start cranking the regulator up again. Coming through Allerton Station now. Morning, mother truckers! I'm not train rating 4, so I assume you just veg that are out here train spotting. Why are you not going to bed? I don't know, but anyway. Morning! I didn't say that, innit? I agree with that person as well, innit? But I was not the one that said it, innit? Quickly grab a beer piss. A beer piss for the final leg of the journey. Beer piss. Oh, the wheel spin's happening again. Why not going to bed? Because sleep is a myth. 2.3 miles until we slow to 40 miles an hour. Well, that's okay. We're barely doing more than 40 miles an hour, so... Sleep is a shit. Jeff's been doing random collabs on each purple station. He even did one with a Canadian YouTuber. Yes, I'm well aware of that. Mr. Far too anxious and far too exhausted to go to the Crossrail opening day. Or go to it at all so far. Hey, then again, look. I was there when the Isle of Island line reopened. I was there when Oakhampton Station reopened on the first trains. Both times I was like, I might meet Jeff here. Both times Jeff was like, nah, it's going to be a bit too busy. I'll go down a couple of days later. So now it's my turn to be like, nah, do you know what? I don't actually fancy crippling social anxiety. And sensory meltdowns of having to deal with massive crowds of people. Which is what I do on a normal day in central London anyway, let alone on the opening of one of the biggest rail infrastructure projects around. What now? It's not like the purple train's going anywhere. No, that's a good point. I feel like the new Crossrail opening stuff doesn't suit your content as well as the stuff you've been doing recently anyway. It'll be there when you want to cover it, if you do. Yeah, to be fair, it's not like I do timely content anyway. It's not like I'm there like, oh my god, first. I am the first person to react or something. I'm not a reaction channel. Probably for the best, really. So, like, I do mostly, like, historical documentaries and stuff on very old lines. So, you know, my secret history of Crossrail can be done at any point, really. What's but? But... JBS, you're very good at just saying something random and hyping up the tension. (42, 41 miles an hour. Liverpool Street lower connects to Moorgate, which is the terminus of the northern way. There it is. Doesn't no, Moorgate doesn't have a... Moorgate doesn't have a Elizabeth line, does it? I heard Bart. Paul was like, yeah, what? I heard Bart. I heard talk of Bart's. All of this is so lovely. Oh god, oh god, oh god! There's a red signal in... Oh my god. What in the name of... Surely this is about to change. Why is the signal suddenly gone red? Please turn green. Oh, it did! Oh my god! Bloody hell! Oh my god, I just had a heart attack. I just pooed massively. I've just absolutely sharted everywhere. Y'all saw that, right? About 400 yards before the signal, it suddenly went red. And I jammed the brakes on as hard as possible, but it triggered to green just as we went through the station, so with like 30 yards to go before I went spad, the signal went green again. Oh my god. Right, we are now into the Edge Hill Freight Yards. Stop at location Edge Hill down sidings 04. Whoops. That camera's now stuck. Okay. Oh god. Oh god. Slowing up again. We're going downhill. Slow down. There we go. Slow down. There we go. Slow down. There we go. What the? What the fuck? Excuse me? Excuse me? Somebody clip that immediately. This moment. I was under the speed. I was. Oh my god. Oh my god. Right, seeing as none of you were paying attention just then, basically, Nay's got it, there we go. Yeah, we were entering the yard, went across a point at under the speed limit, which was 15 miles an hour, and then the Loco derailed and the entire train exploded into space. The clip is there. Nay's got it. Y'all want to see the VAR check on that? The VAR review. How? Right. It felt... Guy, I don't even know. Guy, I do not have a good answer for you. Was it set against you? Well, I don't... The thing is, like, there wasn't a place... Like... There wasn't a place for us to stop coming into the yard. which normally would imply you need to set the points and stuff. But what in God's flying up? Oh God, it's happened again. The checkpoint is literally there. We go. So that was the flipping red signal that only changed to green with yards to spare. Pedals to me. Black and mild. Black and mild with the amazing timing. Right. What we're going to do. Luckily, no one was hurt. Right. Full map. We're going to check this. Right. So we're going down here. Going down here. Points are set. Okay, that's fine. Right, so where do we need to go? Oh my God, where the where in the name of God's arse cheek are we supposed to be going? That's a big freight yard we are navigating. So, we physically can't switch that lever. About this one. No. None of these are switchable. Right, okay. 4. So there we are. Where in the name of burgers are we? Hang on. So we've got the stop at location. That's a way, points in all directions. That way somewhere. Somewhere over there. Right. Now, what are these red dots here? Are they red shunting signals that aren't actually showing on the... Let's have a look here. No, I didn't... Oh, God. Oh, I didn't mean to... Never mind. Stopping's probably not a bad idea right now. It happened again! It happened again! I can't be dealing with this. This yard is cursed. For fuck's sake. Oh my God. Oh. I don't understand. I do not understand what's going on. Right. We're going to try this one more time. I think we found a box. You don't say! Well, it was literally going 1.5 miles an hour and then everything fell over and exploded again. Not again. Judging by the complete lack of response, I'm going to guess he's still asleep. Right, okay. We're going to try this one more time. And then... Oh, God. And then... The red. There we go. Yep. Okay. I'm going to try this one more time. And then... Steam was downloading 700 things. Do you want to download every update for every single game you've ever owned ever? Well, no, not right now, if I'm honest. If I'm honest, not right now. Right, so... Brakes are off. So... Let's look on the map. The map. The map of many things. Now, what are these red dots here? Are they shunting signals? Because those are the points. So are we supposed to have already stopped? I don't understand. Oh. Trundle over the points. We've gone through that now. Are they derails? No, I don't think so. We've gone through one of them and I didn't see anything that it could have been. Brake van's coming through the points now. Can't be, he went through already, yeah. So hang on. Here's the points coming up. Right. Brake, 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 brake. Stop. Stop. I'll give up. I'll give up. It's broken. Fuck it. We're done. It's cursed. Oh dear. Shrug. I don't know. I am done. We are done around here. I'm not having this anymore. Right. Give me back my tube. I want my tube back. He didn't even get to the point. Now, there must be some sort of bug in that area. Maybe it's some sort of bug with the... too much steam? I don't know. Maybe it's the brake van on one of those points, because it seemed to be as the very back end of the... But then, it must be one of those points when we were just coming into the yard, must be bugged. Because the first time, it was when the Loco was right down near the actual points, but when the brake van could have been going over those first sets of points. Second time, it was when I was slowing down across the points in the Loco, and it suddenly went... And then third time was the same as the first. Second verse, same as the first. Whatever, I don't give a fuck. Let's drive a tube. For our stream main event, let's drive a tube. Let's just drive a tube. Chester to Liverpool Lime Street. That sounds good to me. What's the earliest we can do? 4:17 in the morning. Yeah, we are now into... Yeah, we'll do Chester. Yes, Chester to Liverpool Lime Street. Let's do that. Our stream main event. We will make it back to Liverpool Lime Street the next morning. Let's just go down the track. I think we should, really. Right, begin. Oh, look at this. So we are 45586. Hang on, I've got to check. Door open. Climb down. Mysore. Such an eyesore. Look at that, though. Oh, look at the majesty. The absolute majesty. They're not pun intended. But they're pun intended. Actually, I'm going to restart. I want to see if I can try and get Bahamas. Don't worry, we won't be here all day. Because there were bloody hundreds of Jubilees built. The track do be a fucky. I think so, yeah. Unlock the left side doors. Well, we've got a few minutes to sit around anyway, so what have we got here? Keith! Keith! Number 45655, Keith. We're driving Keith for the final leg of the journey. Oh, brilliant. Keith. Keith Sutherland. Queef. Nick. God's sake. Oh, look at that as well. Look at the details. Look at all this. Lovely. Alright, oops. The lights are head code A. What's it on now? Hang on. Head code Royal Train. No, we don't want that. Take that off. There we go. Got to get myself anything to drink today. Oops. Alright then, we are driving Keith. We are driving Keith. Well, what a view we'll have. Keith Charter. Oh, do you know what bollocks? I want to see what we can get. I'll go through this a few times. This is the thing that I would love to see in this game. I would love to see the ability to pick the specific loco you run with. So go through the... I mean, there's a lot of units and locos where it wouldn't matter. But for named classes like this, or like the Western Diesels and stuff, is your light signal, I am speed. Excuse me. Right. Unlock the doors. Door open. 4, 5, 6, 7, 4. Dunk. We're just getting like the meme names now. I don't want Dunk, Big Dunk. Big Dunk and Ferguson. Even as me, no one should be surprised by this kind of thing at this point. Remember to drink is hard. No, I agree. I agree. Drink your water. Says the person that's terrible at drinking water. Dunkin' Donuts. Right. This is only a 20-minute service, so... Ceylon. Ooh, that's a good one. 45604. I want to say one of the preserved Jubilees has been running as that recently. JBS, help me out. Meantime, greetings from Runcorn. Yeah, I think we'll accept Ceylon. Pretty cool. That's a pretty gangster name right there. Pretty gangster name right there. Oh, look at that. Hello, hang on. Oh, wait a minute. I'm the driver. I can go down the track. No train's coming. Good. That's a detail. Look at that. That's a detail. So look at that, right? So on the locos we've had before, it said LMS Crewe Works 1934 or whatever it was. This one is obviously one of the ones that was built at the North British Locomotive Company, Queen's Park Works Company Limited, Glasgow, 1935. There you go. I love that. They could have easily just had the same one on all of the locos and wouldn't have, barely anyone except sad fucks like me would have noticed. But that's a nice touch. So they can do that, and then points in a yard. There might be a slight issue there. Dovetail, we love you, mostly. Galatea was Sierra Leone. Oh, that's right, okay. So where am I remembering Ceylon from? I know what it is. I think there's... I think Bachmann have a couple of Jubilee, 00 gauge Jubilee locos out at the moment. I think Ceylon is one of the ones they have available. Not that I've been looking at them at all, but I'm now under strict orders from... I'm now under strict orders from the Financial Advisory Commission, i.e. my mother. As is my dad. He basically said, look, neither of you are getting any more locos until you can run them. Until you have built a layout to run your toy trains on, you're not getting any more toy trains. Both me and my dad are like, yeah, no, it's fair enough. Okay. Fine. The detail is the bug. All right. Cock's open. FNAR. Small injector. Brake. Melissa's back! Yes! Melissa's back. Finally, welcome back, Melissa. How have you been? Oops, I've closed the cylinder cocks by accident. Whoops, I didn't even mean to do that. Hey, Melissa, how you doing? Lovely to see you again. Is this what happens? Like, you just disappear into an alternate universe? Because it was when we first tried running the very first route that Melissa was here. And I know, an actual woman on the footplate of a steam locomotive. Your sandwich won't be. Anyway, but yeah, all of that. When we first tried running the first train of the day, we immediately went through a red signal and then the game crashed. So when we respawned, we spawned in. It's a random choice of who you get. We got Jerry. And now Melissa hath returned only after multiple visits for us to the Shadow Realm in that freight yard at Edge Hill. Is that where she lives? Like an alternate dimension. Oh, look at that, by the way. We've got the road. We have got the signal. Cindercocks will close those. Reverser, Vorwitz. Vorwitz Maximus. And then... Oh, no. You need to take the brakes off. Brakes off. And then do a chuff. Ceylon, do you want to do a big chuff? Can we get a big chuff? Big chuff. Big chuff. Big chuff. Is the brake's still released? Brake's still releasing. Okay. Yes. All the motherfuckers in Runcorn at 4:20 in the morning, make some noise. Runcorn 4:20 blazing. Let's make some noise. Some turbo skis. Aha, you can see this is stopping service. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coaches, which should mean acceleration is fast. Speed. 420 smoke it. Oh, the acceleration. So this is also a stopping. Oh no, we go via Mossley Hill. Railway more like Blazeway. Chuckety, 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 chuckety. We are getting up to speed. Half as many coaches as when we were running earlier with Repulse on that express. So this is going to be some serious speed. This is more like what it would pull on probably a heritage line. Most heritage lines aren't big enough for full-length trains. It's the irony of heritage lines. It's great that they exist, obviously. But they also can't... You can't really stretch your legs properly as these locos were built to do. Well, except for the odd moments when no one's looking. It's the hype train. It is. Sail on out here with the hype. As we head once again over the Widnes Runcorn Viaduct. What a lovely view. 4:30 a.m. on a summer's morning. Oh, there it is. Oh, this is magic. This is all just amazing. Until we get to near that freight yard we're trying to get in and explode again. No, we should be fine. Oh, just look at that. The curve. The arc of the train. Look at all the people. Just the city stretching out beneath us. Alright, so we are only supposed to be doing 55 miles an hour for this bit, so actually dial the regulator back, because we're actually going downhill as well. Should I continue to mindlessly spam my most likely asleep friend? If it amuses you, then yeah. I don't think it will actually make a difference at this point. There we go. Braking. Braking. I do love an early morning. I've become a very bad morning person, but I wish I was a morning person again because I do love early mornings. So maybe my brain. Oh, look at the reflections on the side of the. Oh, shimmering. This is lovely. This is lovely. This is perfect. 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 Alright, so we're going to be doing 70 miles an hour in a moment. We only have to go via location Mossley Hill. We don't need to stop there. I hope. Unless the game is lying to us. Has it lied to us about its physics? Joking. There's some lower quadrant signals up there. Some signals where the arm goes down like that to signify go instead of up. So we're coming through this station now. I'm trying to remember which one it was. Oh, it's Ditton Junction, I think. Morning. Morning, mother truckers. 420 blazing, make some noise. Etc. Make some noise, etc. Oh, we can do 70 miles an hour now, you say? I think we should. Oh, the Bork. The thunder. I'm playing that in the cab right now, and the missus is like, what are you on about? I'm like, oh, look, you won't have heard that before. Your kids are going to love it, though. My Takuma Sato video went semi-viral. Which one was that? Oh, we're going up. The incline is steepening. Melissa's shoveling. Once again, transporting coal into the firebox via the power of her brain. The power of her mind. Things Dovetail do need to fix about this route. Number one, That. Number 2, any random wormholes to another dimension that hide in the points in some of the yards. Because we found a couple of them. Now this is the seemingly abandoned station. Oh no, no, there was a sign there, so... Both of them are. Oh, we are bouncing along at the moment. Sheep. Morning, sheep. Morning, sheeps. When I was at the Severn Valley Railway last week, the weekend before, lots of very cute sheep by the side of the line. The mums were out with the lambs. Very adorable. That was admittedly nice. I now understand why people go vegetarian. I'm never eating lamb ever again in my life. To be honest, I don't eat that much meat anymore anyway. It's mainly just chicken and the odd sausage here and then some beef for burgers, basically. I'm going to Wales next weekend. Ooh! Whereabouts? And why for so? Tell us. Tell. We need more speed. I'm trying my best. Oh, hang on. I know what we can do to help. Reverse it down. There we go. The Barry Festival of Transport. Oh, brilliant! You're going to the Barry Island Tourist Railway. Oh, that's great. Fun fact, you'll also be going to a Doctor Who filming location. It's been used a couple of times. Whenever they've needed old steam, like old railway stations, they use the one at the Barry Tourist Railway. Found that out when I was watching the first series, The Revival, with Christopher Eccleston. There's that brilliant double header. There's that brilliant 2-parter episode where it's an East London station in not in the Second World War. So obviously it's a historic station to film at, but I was determined to identify where it was. I found it partially on the fact that there's a scene where one of the protagonists is arrested and held in one of the sheds, and you can see under a bit of tarpaulin what is very obviously a GWR tank engine and part of the number of it. So I found on the Barry Tourist Railway website, kind of checked it, like what locos they have there at the railway, and one of them was that numbered GWR tank engines. There you go. Steve, the always running late businessman, is of course running late on this train. We're bouncing along at the moment. We're up to 62 miles an hour. This is good stuff. I can confirm, we are officially doing a hecking big chuff. Oh my god, look at that. Miles upon miles of yards, full of points that could at any moment send you flying into space and instant death. Oh, look at that. Oh, what a photo that is. Yeah, there you go. We are now doing nice miles an hour. We're actually going to be topping out here in terms of speed limit. Still haven't heard from him. I know his girlfriend just woke up, so I'm guessing they were on call until late last night, and that's what... On call until late. That's definitely why he's sleeping in late, isn't it? Him and his girlfriend are sleeping in late because they... Yeah, no, that's absolutely what it was. Allerton Junction signal box. And here is Allerton Station itself. 4:30 in the morning, make some noise. Oh, they don't live in... Oh, I see. Right, okay. we go. Release the brake on there. Coast a little bit on the throttle because oh no, we're actually going uphill still. So. The go via location is Bosley Hill, platform 2, which is coming up. Not here. This is West Allerton. Morning, motherfuckers! Good morning, Merseyside. Doesn't quite have the same ring as Good Morning, Vietnam. I really want Mr. Beast Burger for dinner, but the nearest one's 7 miles away. Well, that's just unfair, really. Then 70 miles an hour. The incline. Morning, mother truckers! Stop at location. Oh, God. Right, some slowing down is going to have to start occurring. I've been hearing rumours that Alex Rossi will be moving to McLaren next season. I know it's 100% going to be IndyCar, but if it was F1, it would be funny. Alex Rossi and Pato O'Ward in the same McLaren team in IndyCar. God. Good God. That could be outrageous. Coasting along. Alright, we're slowing down because we need to slow to 40 miles an hour anyway, and slow for the stop that we're going to be doing momentarily anyway, so that is well, we've just gone through a station. That's about as much as I can be sure of. That's about as much as I can be sure of. Talking can be exhausting, I know, right? Hissing a lot of steam out the top there. So you're taking the injector, the regulator off. Release. There we go. Nice. Ah, this is the sort of abandoned looking station. Doesn't seem to be much going on here. It's another station in another mile, yeah. Kyle Kirkwood got confirmed in the... Hello. Sorry, I'm just going to have to pay attention here. Oh my God, we're coming through the sidings of death. It's the sidings of death. All right. Careful here, be careful. Oh, the game froze there right at the... Alright, I think we're good. I think we're good. I hope and I pray anyway. Carl Kirkwood got confirmed today in the 27. Oh, okay. Blimey, alright then, so he is leaving. Because there was that whole thing going around about how, you know, before the 500, I think Pato was doing, or someone was doing some sort of like truth or dare or something. Or like it was like a this or that type thing. And somebody went to Rossi, it was like, Andretti or McLaren? And he just laughed. It might be Connor Daly. He sounds like the kind of troll that will do that. Just for the banter, you know. We're trundling in. There are the yards of death. I do not trust them. Rossi to GTP confirmed. So it's also me. He's running IMSA a fair bit before. That'd be baller. And if he ends up actually being the replacement for Daniel Ricciardo, I would laugh. He had an appointment this morning. That would be why he hasn't responded. Okay, right. Gotcha. Chuggity, 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 chuggity. Morning light glinting. Right, okay, so... Gonna coast it in. Open the cylinder cocks up a bit. Jet out some more steam. You can feel the game engine struggling with some of these really epic scenes where there's so much going on, you know? Which side is the platform we're coming into? It's on this side, right? Okay. Okay. Give me some brake. Give me some brake. Not got a red signal waiting, so that's okay. Well, it's helpful at least. No, stop. No. We have stopped, if anything, slightly early. Big. Okay, there we go. Right. So we trundle in. So stop right around the corner. Melissa, can you help me out here? You're on the right side here. Never mind, I'll just actually project. There we go. Trundle in nice and slow. Edgar Hill. And where are we stopping? It's not this one. There it is. Right, okay. No, it's not. There's another one. One more. Nope, that's it. Okay. Full brake. There you go. Lovely. Oops. Hang on. Sorry. Excuse me. There we go. Let me out. Oh, no. No. Do you know what? I've changed my mind. Don't try and get off the train over there. That's where a portal to a new century is lurking. Anyway, let's get down to the track level. There's our magnificent train. Our hecking good chuffy boy. There's an 8F over there in the yard, which, you know, hasn't exploded yet. Which, you know, hasn't exploded. I got a sake hit by a train. What does that mean? Right, can I climb aboard from... There you go. Right, that's fine. Sorry, excuse me. They're terribly sorry. Excuse me. The right side doors. Don't jinx it. I'll try not to. All right, we go. One more stop. Are we going to finally make it back to Liverpool Lime Street? Brakes are releasing. Slowly, there we go. There we go. The heckin' big chaff. 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 Full throttle? Yeah, full throttle. Let's do this. The final run to Lime Street begins here. Oh, we're in the cutting, so we might need to... There we go, lamp. Although the flames are lighting the way rather nicely. Oh. And we've got a steep run into Lime Street as well, so... Lime Street. And now we're in the darkness. Don't mind me, coal shoveling lady. Yeah, Melissa just getting on with the job. I'd love to see it, you know. Right, so green signal's coming in. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice lighting there. You think if they aired the OG Thomas series again, do you think people would watch it? Yes, because it's awesome. Absolutely they would. Right, let's keep the brake on. Justing out the darkness. I believe anything, God love. There's a chance we can make it now. With a chance we can get to Lime Street. We'll be lucky if we don't go to space. I believe anything, God trains. Oops. Oh, shit. No, not now. Not now. We've done so well. There we go. We're good. We're slowing. There you go. He's a smooth operator, mostly. I mean, mostly. There we go. Doing a hecky big chuff. Corvette fan 6364 is out here. Unfortunately, near the very end of the stream, but still lovely to see you here, man. We are just arriving at the end of our last service of the day into Liverpool Lime Street Station with a chuffy boy. Driving a chuffy boy. Also had to do more laundry stuff. That's fine. I'm going to spend 36 minutes watching a British guy review a Rapido train. Is that Sam's Trains? Really got into his channel recently. A certain Blink-182 album was 23 today. You know what that means? Nobody likes that album when it's 23? Yeah, Sam's Trains is cool. Started to really like his stuff. I do not think Carlos is a smooth operator anymore. When he's at Ferrari, he kind of doesn't have a chance of being. Excuse me. Trundling in nice and slowly. Nice and slow. Open up the cylinder cocks if we want to. Past the Liverpool Lime Street signal box. And past the turntable with nothing on it at the moment. Oh, still got the regulator open. Oops. Oops. Trundling into a moody Liverpool Street station. Liverpool Lime Street station. It's not Liverpool Street. It's London Liverpool Street and Liverpool Lime Street. Who thought that was a good idea? Right, here we go. I was shocked that he did not crash during one. I know, right? All right, here we go. Here we go. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Steady. Let's put those brakes on. Come on. Pump your brakes. There you go. 20. And then we're going to go there. Now, maximum brake. There you go. Still probably a bit too early, but never mind. It's only a short train. There you go. Unlock the doors. Cylinder cocks open. Full application of the brake. And, oh, there's the sander on the Jubilee, by the way. I'm trying to look for that on the 8F. If I have this right, isn't Sam Trains the guy who started reviewing Thomas and Friends Bachmann models? I believe he did. All right. Oh, here we are. Welcome back to Liverpool Lime Street. About 18 hours after we left. We left here at, what, 11:30 in the morning yesterday. Then we attempted to come back on the freight on a freight train at 2:30 in the morning, and then fell into a black hole. So instead, we went over to Runcorn and caught this train back to Lime Street for 4:45 in the morning. Ah, what an adventure it has been! What an adventure it has been! Oh, look, these two just wandering around like, hey, look, it's the train. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? It's me on the signal. I was like, yeah, it's all right, isn't it? It's pretty cool. Why is it called Lime Street? That's a good question. I assume it's just a road outside is called Lime Street. And we got a gold medal for it. Hey, there we go. That'll do. That will do. Let us return to the free roam. And see you later, Melissa. Hope to drive more trains with you soon. See you later, Ceylon. You're a good hacking chuffy boy. And you do look excellent in the platforms. Just look at that. That. Oh, yeah. It's just a screen grab pornography, basically. Right, so I'm going to go head off and get some, well, IRL, I'm going to get some dinner. But in the game, I'm going to get some breakfast. Oops, there we go. Squeeze past these lovely old, massive mechanical, like, hydraulic buffer stops here. I don't think you can go... Oh, yeah, you can. So here's the forecourt. And there are the departures. Well, supposed to be. not much happening from that side of the station, if I'm honest. And so, fun fact, by the way, right about there is where the modern entrance to the Merseyrail network is, and the Merseyrail station. So you go through these doors, and down there, underneath us right now, is the Merseyrail. Well, not at this point in time, because, well, no, hang on a minute. If I'm remembering this rightly, I think there was an underground station or underground platforms at Lime Street to connect with the line that goes out west to Birkenhead and that. So there might be, but when the Merseyrail network was properly opened and integrated in the late 70s, that is now the entrance to the Lime Street Merseyrail station, if you will. Staff only. These all gates and everything. I've not explored over here yet. I've opened a big box and now hands are being flappy. Ooh, what's in the big box? What's the state of departures over here? Also not good, if I'm honest. Booking office for London and the South, Birmingham and the West of England. Well, we are from London and the South, so I think I'll go over here and... oh, hang on. Poster? Yes! Scotland for your holidays with an LNER A4 on it, but we'll forgive that. The world-famous Forth Bridge, services and fares from British railway stations, offices and agencies. Was the first UK underground station in London. Well, I think the Metropolitan Railway was one of the, if not the first, underground railway system in the world. Because the Glasgow subway was second or third, I want to say. Was that another poster up here? Your hat is excellent, by the way. Another poster. Wales for your holidays. See the enchanting scenery of Wales. It's a lot of hills. And what? Oh, there's just a random yard full of like boxes and stuff over here. Two big plushies. Oh, what are the plushies of? Anything specifically? Aha! Over here we've got a little water tower, a little watering tower. Refill the locos. I wonder if there's one over there by the turntable. Meantime, I do know that these... There you go. We have lit a brazier. Oh, this shit's lit. You can actually operate the water towers as well. So, these are just some fuels stacks in that over here. So, I'll tell you what. Let's warm ourselves by the fire. Even though it's a fairly hot morning. So, strike. Plague Doctor and Baphomet. Both are very cute. What are these from? Yeah, so I think... Why is the... Turn that off. Fuck it. So let's have a vibe by the fire. Have a drink by the fire. Have some breakfast. And celebrate a job well done. I mean, you know, aside from falling into an alternate dimension a couple of times. Dovetail, you might need to fix that. As well as the invisible coal. Maybe that's where the coal goes. It actually disappears into an alternate dimension. But aside from that, don't know about you guys, I've had a lot of fun out here today. And it's been lovely having you all along. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Charles the Weeb, for the raid. And the friends brought along on there, and all the resubs and the new subs that we had today, and the new followers. All fantastic. As for when I'm going to be next live, that's a good question, because spur of the moment yesterday morning, I booked myself a 3-night trip over to Cheltenham for this weekend. Not for the horse racing, but for steam trains, obviously. I'll be at the Gloucestershire-Warwickshire Railway from tomorrow for the next few days, which will be very cool. Be back by Sunday night, I should say. So next week should be a bit more normal. I'm going to be going with the schedule about Tuesday, and then I'm going to be away Friday. Whatever it is, I'll be trying to stream as much as possible. You'll be seeing some new updates start to be rolled out for the stream channel art and things like that. So you know Cheltenham is 40 minutes from me on the train, right? Do you want to come down, have a party? You can. I mean, like I say, I'm there for the Gloucestershire Warwickshire. They're having the Cotswold Festival of Steam with, you know, Bully Pacifics, a 9F, Ivat Moguls, Ivat Tanks, a hall, a castle, not a castle, a hall, a manor, GWR 280, a thick tank. So you know the 8F we've been driving today, there's going to be a Great Western Railway locomotive, which is a 280, like that 8F we drove today, but a tank engine. So a roidy tank engine. How are you getting to the Glaswalks, though? I'm going to Cheltenham Spa and then heading over via there. I'm staying for a few nights in an apartment in the city, so yeah, let me know. That would be quite cool. Our West Country correspondent might be returning for more than the brief cup of coffee he had at the end of the Oakhampton video. By the way, it's very cool. So I ordered WWE 2K14 for 3 reasons. Special ref for 30 years of WrestleMania and the Attitude Era mode. With all this in this game, how is it not the best WWE game? That's a good question. I don't know which one is the best WWE 2K game recently. Thank you for the hug, Paula. Happy Pride from your resident autistic bisexual boy here. And, you know, wave your flags, wave your rainbows. And don't let some multi-billion-dollar corporation slap a rainbow on their logo and be like, yeah, we support queer people. We don't, actually. We fund government organisations that try to cure queer people. But for this month, and this month alone, we have a rainbow on our icon. So that counts, doesn't it? No, it doesn't, PayPal. I don't know, that's just an example. I don't know if PayPal actually do fund conversion centres and shit like that. But anyway, have a happy Pride. Last thing we've got to do today is very simple, really. We are going to mail out of the game, and then now please buy our shit. Yeah, Vic's kind of got it. So last thing we're going to do is see if we'll find a pal to raid. And who's streaming right now? Who's up right now? Ooh, we've got a couple. We've got our own Crewe. Stephen Bailey is still streaming. Steve Bailey is streaming. Yeah, excuse me. He's just having a natter. He's very cool. Rainbow Capitalism. There you go. You called it. Oh, Rezzie's streaming as well, though. Rezzie's streaming some Warframe. Stevie. Who's Stevie? Oh, Stevie Bailey. Yes. Yeah. So, Steve Bailey or some Rezzie. Hang on, let me check both, just to see they're not doing that awkward thing where they're moments away from ending. So I once did with, I went to raid Tuzz's stream once, and I literally clicked and went, oh no, he's actually ending. All right, Boyley is watching Juma videos. So there's a bit of meta going on here. So I think we'll drop Rezzie a raid, shall we? Why not? Raid Rezzie on 4. Blammo, lovely human being, lovely person, great guy, playing some Warframe right now, and you should all go follow him if you haven't already. Meantime, I'm a head out, literally, and have a lovely rest of your evening, have a lovely rest of your Wednesday, and see you around here again soon. Where's my mouse? There it is. Nighty-night.